get into it. Got hit by blood. Grounding. Grounding. Different ways people find grounding. I've been vibing with more just lately. Been kind of vibing with more, trying to hone back in. I mean, I guess the I guess I would really still really kind of be in the energy, but just as it expands, I guess, and just the creativity or the different things that I may be missing here, or that my energy may be over here, so then I'm missing this. You get what I'm saying? Or just certain focus points. Because like I said, when I'm toned in, I'm toned in. When it comes to a certain thing that has to be focused upon. And so I said it's a good day, it's a nice day. It's been a great weekend after all that rain. That rain was crushing for a few days. So see what's going on out here, you know. So this topic today, I'm going in on well, yeah, hold on. Let me finish off that little point to while I was saying where I'm rolling with the energy, just and expanding on it, is because when it comes to me and getting at it, that's how I just explain like my focus points and what I focus at. But what I've noticed is that energy is, like I said, I felt it. Like I said, not so much to this extent, but there was a long time ago when I first became conscious, to where it was a it was a doing you type of feeling. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you hear people say be themselves, it kind of gets cliche, but it's like a being you when it was, like I say, genuine to the actual, like I said, what this thing is as information, as information based, and then finding out different things, because in the beginning, this shit is just about chakras, and that's part of what we're going to talk about today. It was just about chakras, like that in the beginning. Like I remember that shit. Like it was about like nigga chakras. Like okay, and this and that, and to where I have something outside of what I'm sharing today about chakras, and just everybody's heard about it. A lot of people know about it, but to this day, at least every few days, just even not even in the zones that I'm in. Just I mean, partially that I've expanded, but just partial ones, like still new stuff, like not any stuff new informational based, but just hella not just regurgitated stuff, but it's just even that word, it starts to get weird after a while, because you niggas know what niggas is talking about when they say that. But just here's a video on chakras, and certain things are more a lot of it is presented on just the introduction concept of chakras, but then you do have a lot of other videos that expand to where people will talk about it on the surface level at first, but you still have to, the person that's presenting it might come at a deeper angle about the chakras or from a different spin-off. But everybody knows that. A lot of people, the ones that, you know, the ones that I'm talking to. So I'm saying in the beginning, that's what it was like for me, like, because one of the first two books that I got in person like I said, I ordered the first two books I ordered. Remember, like I said, was the Enoch stuff, and then the Timbuktu. Um, Along with the Bible, I think I got it in. It was a version that was like in English and Hebrew, but it was like in half pages, so half of it was Hebrew, half of it was the other shit. Or either that or this other. Um, can't remember, but can't remember. But the first two books I got in person from a dude. I was getting tatted. I had a few people who used to tat me and shit, but one of them, dude was on some conscious shit, and then he let me, like, he didn't give me the book, but he let me take a picture of it, and it was like something like with Tai Chi, and then a and a astrology book, some shit, and the astrology book was not, it was a blue book, and so I ended up ordering them guys, and and then along with as well as, like I said, with the Bobby stuff, like his first thing, Bendu Seed, and I remember I actually ended up finding that in one of these big ass books. That might be actually in the one that I'm reading from today. Doing what I'm gonna go with. Um, but yeah, I remember just getting into that, and I remember it's like this famous video on the chakras, or really it's about meditating. A lot of people have seen it. It's so old, but it was a good video, and I've seen a few reposts and stuff of that one throughout the years. But I remember that's the one I used to show to people. I remember showing it to my, you know what I'm saying? So when I remember, just back to the simple things. When I remember like I said, when I used to listen to the tones back and forth before I'd found out like Reiki and stuff like that, just things as my research base expanded based on what I was typing in. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's where it reminds me, like I said, that's within that actual, I guess, more childlike with the information, how it felt, is when I get certain concepts of being older in it now, of that's kind of what it triggers certain things with the knowledge on knowing on how else is certain things supposed to, I guess I would say, manifest, yes. But we go, like I said, I go with where my angle of, like I said, to know what actually like books are when it comes to information. When it comes to information, because I go back to the life thing, and then people can, like I said, like a lot of real ones when it comes to this information will put you on like some literature, give you a book along with what they say, but dude, they'll give you a book because it's really on so many levels. People identify it, that type of energy, as just being integral to what information is. That's all. So it's like all this type of vibe or energy that I said that I'm toning back into, that this feels like when I'm just more naturally just flowing, just doing, like, because that's what this feels like to me. That's what this feels like to me, because I've toned in or honed in on a lot of the different things that I still see, but just on parts of reality that I just notice people, like some not all, like, but it's beyond certain spaces that people think they know that I'm talking about. It's it's just it's still it's some people, like I said, everybody, man, fuck it. If I want to be what, if people want to be what, what I mean, what, polite with it. It's just, Everybody's human, so people cannot hide this shit. People cannot hide the shit. And so sometimes that shit needs to be identified or called out sometimes. Like I said, people some people kind of misjudge me, but it's okay. Sometimes, what can I say that I misjudge other people as well. But at the same time, like, everybody's not supposed to be on the same type of time at all. That's what actually really makes it real in everybody's own fucking experience. That's what makes it real. And like I said, certain things from my degree that I'm in, like I said, this is sometimes it gets kind of funny. It gets kind of funny to me. To me. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, if I hadn't been through some of the shit, if not all the shit that I've been through, I could not sit here and actually do this shit. Honestly. Because it's a different type of skin. It's a different type of skin, and I see it and I feel it, and I'm like, people think people think you know. You think you know. And when I say that, it's not even what you're even thinking of. That's how I know you don't know. People like niggas are like, we're black scientists, spiritual beings or whatever. What the fuck else do you think you're looking? If you really look, like I said, if you ever taken a shroom before and really looked at people and really looked at us as human beings or what they call us, just on certain shit. That's why I say some things is some people just, and it's what it is it's relatable to what you're on if you're not on a shroom. So certain things, even when people say when they're in the spirit world and all of that shit, like, people just do not know. It's not a, like, man, oh man, like I said, like, people can't hide, like I say, human nature and stuff, pain and anger or even love. For what some people will see some people wig out about some shit and be like, yo, that person loves somebody. And then sometimes it can be true and sometimes it cannot be true. But then when you go down to like levels of love and stuff like that, then some people will call that certain parts of love like that is kind of weak. But that's in their line of thinking. Certain things people just don't know because it's to a certain degree. You're not really pushed within the information and just naturally meshing it with your heart. Like the individual that came to the information, what your heart was or your essence was when you actually found the information. And so these are things, like I said, like, this is stuff that I roll with. Like I said, people at this point, like I said, I'm starting to see a little bit more while ones before me rolled how they roll. Like, when it comes to a certain, fuck it. Like, if people gonna do what the fuck you want to do with the fucking information. Because when it goes there and it really goes there, that's what it really is. That's what it really is. So at the end of the day, like, I remember when niggas that's what I'm saying. People would try to judge with certain shit, and then some people admit the shit that they're on, and certain shit, and even when it's some cold shit, like, and then after a while, you start to see this shit, and you're like, hold on, really, that's what it is. It really is this weird do as you will type shit based on, not because nobody formulated it. It's another thing a concept that people come up with out of certain attributes of how shit manifests and people's and like characteristics and stuff. And those are two words that I actually have down that I'm going into. It's funny how those fall in. We can go in sync. Yeah, and it's a I knew where I was going. Like people don't get that's what that shit is. Like, people, you do what the fuck you want to do with the information. Exactly. Because really, that's what it is. I think my thing is when I come the way I feel come like when I like to come when I'm being genuine. Sometimes you see some of this sternness energy within some of my testimonials and stuff like that, and it gets people more, some, not all, because a nigga knows what's going on, and nigga just at this, like, I really just don't give a fuck, because I remember this section. I remember this. It's almost like a section. It's almost like a section. I remember this. It's almost like, you don't know. People don't know how people get to the points in life where they get to. You have no fucking idea. And so that's why I just, when I'm bringing it how I'm like, I gotta bring it, it's gonna be a little stern where it needs to be, because I'm not blaming no motherfucking body. I just had to make I had to speak what had to be spoken on. But I'm not blaming actually nobody at all. Nobody. I hope nobody's not blaming me. I hope we can flush man, all that shit flush down the toilet. Not magically, not real ritualistically and all of that shit. Because people you need to educate yourself with certain shit. Because like I said, man, just the muscles, man, people that just don't even, I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. Man, fuck, I won't even give you a, man, I'm not even gonna like go there with that, because it's certain things, like I said, you just don't know what nature is. You have no idea what nature is. Like nature, just raw nature. Research some shit. Not just the flowers and the shit and whatever like that. Animals. What animals do. Yeah, what animals do when they yeah, they don't have what the fuck we have, but we can do what the fuck they do. Oh, we part them, part animal. People better, you mix that in with your intellect. Mix that in with your spirituality and shit like that. Be like some real shit to be grateful for. When it comes to being able to fucking, that's why I say like certain shit, even in that Wick series, certain shit, like people just have no idea what makes us separate from the beasts. Shit, like real shit. So I'm gonna let people be their nature within their degrees. But just know when like I said, like I've been saying, not getting never was at your way, y'all's way. But don't think you're in like incovertly projecting some shit. Because I can break it down again. Some people are being true mediums and intermediaries to the chaos. Get it? And some people are actually like on some other shit. And then some people is getting what, exhausted, or some people is getting kind of like what when and this and that and shit like that. No, it's real life. It's real life shit. What gets me is, like I said, excuse me, is when, like I said, like I have to remember that's what gets me, is when I catch myself, is let me stand and or sit and keep on doing where I'm at, because really it's in, like I said, bruh, when it comes to spirituality, what I've heard from many, the whole concept, it's not a jack of all trades, but it is a jack of all trades. But you see how that it doesn't get you far in life unless you've made those work for you. You know what I'm saying? And you can make those spin in the physical, right? But when it comes to a jack of all trades, that's the whole concept. Like don't think that there aren't other magicians, or even what you would call occultists, that some do not have much, and some have a lot, and some have just a little bit to hold on to. But regardless, that's why I said I like where I sit and where I talk about it, because at the end of the day, nobody can judge shit and where where mine is on and what my shit and how I move. And then certain things I know the difference between what is what. And so just because a nigga comes in here and then now, okay, boom, 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 you think y'all are gonna change my mind on certain shit that I already knew, knowing shit is that. I'm talking about just not like between with karma, cause and effect, and then certain shit. Like I said, to me, karma is a more magical concept of what basic cause and effect is, for people just to be intellectually sound to know what something is. If they don't even believe in other stuff like that, they would still obey to cause and effect. They would still have to almost kneel to that concept in a even the way of when they realizing that if they change it or boom, 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 and certain outcomes they have to deal with that are based on small, how all that trickles out. So when you get to karma, it begins to, now the parameters, these characteristics, attributes of the energy, This is why I said, nobody, you can't really, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't go back, like I said, this spirituality shit, like I said, as I learned from the ones before me, but as I learned as actually doing what was told, but already doing what was told, which would lead me to teachers that would actually be saying the same shit, which would make me, yes, hold on, okay, thank you. And then the concept that they would get it on is that when somebody's not trying to give you the information of where they got it from, who put them on to the books, who was putting them on to the concepts, and where to find the fucking books, then that person is used. And then if they're really like super juice with it, and then they're not telling you that means they're technically on some type of messiah complex. That's where that shit's resonating from. And then some of them can be directly involved in keeping people out of the information. That's why some people, like I said, like, I don't talk in, like some people can do it and shit like that, can talk in a certain way, but my shit is even direct when I'm being indirect. But it's not to be such either one. It's just, if that's the feeling or the energy or the vibe, how people want to. That's what I'm saying. It's not a joke, but it is like where people think they want to like go with certain things. And what people are actually, even like I said, didn't even like this certain space or whatever. Like I said, I have no problem. Like, I hope more motherfucking magicians hop into this motherfucker. If you're not in here already, you get what I'm saying? To like really like what people think they know, and about even what my concepts of even where I'm going at when I touch on certain shit. At this point, like I said, fuck it, do what you fucking want to do with it. Because that's where I truly, like I said, when I start saying that responsible shit and all of that stuff and this and that, no. Because that's what's starting to become that. Because I feel that's what people, when the people start saying a divine justice and shit like that. Or like this karmic justice and shit like that. And then certain things, I'm like, hold on a second. That's what I'm saying. Certain things, I'm like, people don't know how people live and roll and shit like that. So some people, it'd be funny and people just don't know, like I said, if you've even listened to my certain things, like in for real, like really watch them and shit like that. Like I said, I don't believe I've done anything above of a nature that certain people would think that if certain thing like where I think I really honestly think that's somebody else. But like I said, but then you see, but within that game or whatever, or within the lingo or the language, it starts to like, hold on a second, with the energy. With the energy, you can't. So I'm just listening to this, and then one or two, like, you think I don't, like I said, I was gonna read that. Like I say, don't, I know about rings in the ears. Some of y'all have. So I be more subtle when my shit's quiet. Like when my shit's quiet, if I'm watching one. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't even watch this shit to like after a while. Like I'm looking at my own, I'm trying to identify my own life in certain shit. Because now I've seen like, okay, this and okay, certain that's and whatever like that. So that's why I say at the end of the day, like I said, I know what I'm looking for in it. I know what I'm looking for in it, and it's nobody's. It's fucking people with like some people. Like I said, I feel that some people aren't even like maybe even not even tuning in no more, but were to a certain point. But then they don't recognize the actual things that I've said as okay, ongoing truths to where I'm still tuning in and tapping into some. But then I'm noticing how is this or what they might not be tuning in or whatever. But that's the whole point to where some of these some that are the real, like some of the real ones. And I'm not saying, like I say, when I say some, I don't mean all like that's just doing it on the front end or like, but I'm saying it's just to respect it where it comes from, the nature of the magic. Like there's somewhat like, yo, y'all, and then some people is just so nice. Some people is like some real ones is very nice. It's nice, but then they have that sauce on there, but it's vibing with, they are like, it's just the same thing. But they've been in the game for a minute. They've been in the game for a minute. That's why I say, like me, I look up to a lot of these practitioners. Yeah, the good ones, some of the good ones and witches and man, I look up to them like I like for real, like I said, like when I was a young boy and just in practitioner shit. Like I went many different angles and stuff like that. A lot of the ones that have passed and then as practitioners, and we say, you hear me when I say like about, like I said, I've spoken about certain people, but that's what they are. Certain ones that even do lecturing and stuff at their certain degree. At there's a certain point where this is a practice. This is your practice. We're practitioners, niggas, and some people is physicians with it and then know it and all of this different shit or whatever like that. Like I say, like it's just my area of study with it has always been certain things that I talk about and what I've found results in. And so, like I said, some people, like I said, like are just like very nice, but not so much with the not. It's not so much with the language, like I said, but about people just know what they're doing when I say energy and about concepts of every motherfucking like, bro, you like cook up everybody. Where are the road openers at? The road, like, tell people that you need to do road opener rituals, road opener prayers. Like, this is, you got to clean out your heart. I'm about to explain that this is what I have today. Like, this is what I have today. I'm glad that it's, yes, now we're getting into it. Now we're getting into it. Perfect point. It's how you are. It's people, it's how we are. Like, this is like, I drew this today. This was this morning. And this is the crossroads. It's the Taurus field. With the Taurus field. And then to show you that this is what this is what, to get a look at it. Like when people are getting at this, like everybody's going to like things that are like making things so like to where some people just don't know. You can go to like an intersection that really like maybe has your inner energy signature on it, like that's in your neighborhood or whatever like that, and just grab a pinch of dirt. This can be done as a concept that is true. That is true. These are crossings of what people don't know, energy patterns and energy chords that are all symbols, symbolic, that is resonating with the same, like everybody is a fucking Taurus field moving around this motherfucker. Like everything is a symbolic, we're all symbolic. This is a micro and a macro. Anywhere you want to take that concept is the concept of hermetics. And so it's about road opener. It's about road openers. That's what it's about. You have to open up the road. This should not be that long. That's what I was supposed to look up. That was that last thing I have for when I get to that part though. Yeah, like it's road openers. I'm a practitioner that is heavy on road openers. Road openers. That's what I'm saying. That's the way you get it done. Is road openers. I'm really about to start sharing something. Because at this point, it's like people can do what they want. But like I said, all this divine stuff, and people want to say, and then people talk like that, and then if people want to get on their purpose, and then now I see, okay, fuck it. It's people do as you will with it. I'm about to give it, like, some of it's like really about to start calm. I'm just about to post it. I'm about to just post it. Take it. There you go. Here's a road opener petition. Now, I'm going to explain to you the concepts of why it gets so wild, why it gets so chaotic. When you clear some shit, like when you just don't know that you're not giving to, you're not, some people just don't know that there's this truth in it. All of that other stuff that people want to make true, some people can make that true. And then when you're coming out of a certain cycle, when you're in that certain cycle, a lot of misdirection and lies and stuff and backstabbing and stuff can be pulled off, right? So it's like these things always had levels to them within the degrees of meaning that were always true. The same way that they can be true on the surface, to where that's why I'm saying people don't have to sacrifice chickens and shit. People don't have to do that. That's what people don't understand. Like you don't have to touch any type of blood and all of that stuff. You don't have to do all of that. People do that because everything, damn near every living thing has chakras. And so niggas are actually doing, that's in the knowledge base. That's a side effect. That's what it is. It's really called it's one of the many side effects of when you come into a certain, like I said, the degree that I damn near started at. That's what I'm saying, is that understand, like I said, like I got taught so much stuff just on a nigga pulling out a piece of paper and a pen and then just following direction and then following my spirit. Like, you don't have to do all of that. People do all of that and they get what they get out of it, I guess. Like, I don't do all of that. Like, I get this, because of what I've learned in the study, it was to learn, like I said, it was to learn of the energies. So when I'm learning and it follows up in every which one. So when I stay at the so many ones that have touched with it, and then realizing that, okay, it does go there. Okay, this person did take it all the way there. This person did take it all the way out. And then they said the same thing. And so where I sit at it, I can still, like, okay, I can know where this actually does expand to with even this religion, that religion, this religion. And then I actually give grace to those things in a lot of the statues and certain things that I get of different things, to where, like I said, I know what the energies mean. So I'm not a person sitting around with just a whole bunch of symbolisms of this deity and that deity and that deity all sitting within one pantheon. You get it? That's what I'm trying to say to you. But it's the same way with the certain stones or with the figures that I have dealing with my chakras. That's actually a reflection of that same concept of what I would do when I do get my like sculptures and stuff like that when as I expand and stuff like that. But what I have is always a symbology. And honestly, a lot of the stuff that I used to have around my house was symbolic of nature and stuff like that within my I guess my office or my studio and shit. That's where I used to have the actual more stuff to just the raw energies and stuff like that. But then I would realize certain things were emanating with certain chakras and stuff like that. But actually, they were to more cycles. They were more cyclical. Because when you're messing with Kali stuff and all that or whatever like that, you know what that shit is. But what I learned that's a correctional concept. If people see what that is, that's supposed to destroy the ignorance in you. To where like, yeah, no, I'm trying to tell you certain shit. When I had that Kali shit up, I believe it was Kali. I think it was a tapestry. And that used to fuck people up. Like, I didn't know it was doing it until it was doing it. And it was just like, I'm cooling with the energy. Like, I would be in my shit. I think it was that. I had a Shiva up one time. I can't remember what it was. I had two different ones. I had a Vishnu. No, I know for sure I had the Kali one. But I just know, I remember like once or twice my homeboy got this. And then that was the same time Brother P, he was dropping it on it. He was dropping the info on it, but it's the same concept. Is to where that polarity switch, it's still a union. Like, it's still the concept of, like I say, positive, negative, or what you see, the positive attributes and the negative attributes of something. How can something, the negative attributes, and that's what everybody says, this is, okay, what's the yang to that? Or what's the yin to that? You get what I'm saying? So, okay, this can constantly be a swap of polarity. Like, okay, are you identifying with this side? But then, okay, if you're not, then it must be this side or whatever like that. That's something you learn. You learn that shit. I learned that shit. I learned it for real. And so with like the Kali stuff, it used to be so many symbolic concepts of it. Like I said, I eventually had to put the shit up. Because as I started, like as like I said, it's eventually my baby moms would eventually come through more. Like she didn't care. She was there with it. So I ended up putting that shit up. But I remember what happened, like, to a few homeboys. Like, I was like two, and it wasn't nothing crazy, but one of them just started to get sick, couldn't stay. And then the other one, with what he was doing and whatever. But what it was okay, these people knows what they're on or what their, I guess, motives were. And so certain shit was, okay, boom, or whatever. They would just know, just don't come over there fucking around in my energy on that type of time. Like, because just even how they're thinking, I guess what's going through their head, and it would be like, bro, my shit's more open. And that was when the naivety or whatever, it wasn't in a position to like really affect really my situation. Shit, it was just like, okay, I'm being nice or whatever. I'm not really like, you know what I'm saying, I'm in my own shit. And so I'm just, you know what I'm saying, I'm being nice because I was creating, you know what I'm saying, it was music and shit or whatever, but I always fuck with my energies and shit like that. And so that was just that tapestry or whatever. But that Kali shit, it's tapping on your ignorance. That's what it is. It's the self. That's what I'm saying. When you're looking at it, how many people really use Kali to project it and not to look at it themselves? You get what I'm saying? Some of these things, like, and that's what I'm saying, Kali, like, when I used to, like, was fine with it. I was fine with it because what I learned as well is to go with the grain. As you go with the grain, you understand, like, okay, all right, this person or whatever, you're not fighting when a motherfucker don't hit you up like that. Like I said, certain things with me, it was I had to end up moving a certain type of way. Like I said, I was just, like I say, certain things of concepts of where I would just flow, whatever, might fall off a little bit or whatever like that, or just like I'm not really, okay, the energy's there or whatever, but I'm not, like I said, I'm doing a lot of different things or whatever that's making my life good because it's all of that spiritual hygiene and stuff like that. That's what people sometimes, that's to an extent, that's what I learned what it was. So if you basically in your shit, like in your studies and shit like that, like okay, you lighting candles, like I say, you getting books on candles and stuff, learning how to do this shit. Because in those things, you'll find out to where you can do a lot of different shit. Like you can just, like I said, certain things I wasn't interested in it. But when I see it in certain stuff like that, like I said, how certain things become useful when you might hear it here and you say, hold on a second, let me do that, and then like watch that. Like so you can look at the waxes, you know what I'm saying, and the way the smoke is on the glasses. After you, like I say, that spiritual hygiene as well is just beyond just like I said, like rose water spray and shit like that. It's way beyond it. Like that's what it say, burning candles and stuff like that. It's beyond when people just say do it for protection and stuff like that. Sometimes I just want to burn a polish stick just to burn one. Like I understand that. But when I'm told to do that, okay, cool, I'll do that or whatever. But now I see how certain things can go to where I'm like, hold on a second, people was doing shit already. Niggas was doing certain shit already. And then my life or whatever like that says like I'm so like I said, like when I look at these situations that I done like things that like bro, like a nigga has really like man, like just that's like bro, like niggas the shit been on, like I said, God been on a nigga shit. Like when it comes to like fucking with a nigga. Because I don't look at life like bad and stuff like that. I really don't. Like when I was in even in my chapter when my shit was going hectic and stuff like that, I remember like I said it wasn't me at the time or whatever, but what came with it is within me, the chapter that is in me. Like so I actually like I said when I talk about transmutation it fits naturally within my testimonies or whatever how you see it. Like you see it and it registers it. God damn, this nigga is either like lost it or he's just trying to hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? That's how sometimes it like I made it feel sometimes. And I know some people who got faith, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more faith, like more like the faith that I have is just more of like nah, like it's just here and it's like to me this shit is healthy within like where life is like what it's turned me into to where I know I don't worship the devil. You know what I'm saying? I have a book on spirits that I could go to it into at any time and just look up some shit and just read through. But sometimes I don't do that. What it is certain people like if I hear certain shit or certain things, I might look it up sometimes. You get what I'm saying? Or when I'm messing with a what do I call it? It'll be more like a read off or whatever. Like I said, certain things like I had where I would go into the alchemy symbols and shit. Like there's air and all of it, but like and then even air is like in gold or like the same thing, like a circumpoint. These symbols are like a circle with the like with the even X and stuff in it, and then just the point. That's is what a symbol for gold, but it's also I think a symbol for air too. Within some of these books, I'm talking about these are the side effects, like how a person can. And I'm just like, and learned people put this in books. That's why it's like after a while it's just like yeah like a nigga could be mean and stuff like that but a nigga's not gonna be mean but don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like when this shit comes out in certain things, that's why I say with certain things I had to go on and get past certain shit or whatever like that because I got some other shit coming. Like even within my life, like certain like real like I said like certain shit. I'm chilling, man. Like I'm chilling, bro, paying the bills. Like bills have to be paid. That's what I'm saying. People's talking about like this, like money has to keep flowing. In this, like bro, like certain shit. Like you keep, like I said, certain things in my life. Like when I really get down and I really like start really getting like more comfortable on this internet shit is more like is in I guess to stretch out from just like talking like this. I guess if that's what people like. It's so funny to me. Like when I show you like me getting it in, like okay, this and that, and like bro, you don't even have no idea when I'm getting this too. when it comes to food and shit like that. So some people, it's just funny. Like, and it's funny, but it's just, that's why I say I like this space. Like, it's so many things that actually like speak for themselves. That speak for themselves. Everybody's so detailed in what they like and everything, and so direct but indirect. And so it's like, it's funny. Like, look now, flip it back on yourselves. Flip it back. Now, like, hold on a second. What? Like, hold on. Oh, we're the only ones that use this zone. Get it gone. Gone. Like, what? No. That's what makes it so. That's what I'm saying. Like, but it's like certain shit, real road opener work. And when I say road opener work, at this point, because what it is, it needs to be done. Because I know I got to get one off probably before the year is over. Might even do two. Because you don't understand what that shit is. Because life is giving you certain things or certain experiences or whatever, to where like, yeah, this and that, okay, people know how to maneuver when it's like this or whatever like that and whatever like this. Like I said, me, like when I say certain things with the internet and stuff like that, the internet shit is just getting started. Like, it's just getting started. Like, realistically, it's just getting started. Like, I for facts, I haven't made no type of dent. Not in my eyes. And that's not to get at my actual me giving thanks for what has been done. But when it comes to the real reality, the real reality, that's how the fact that I can actually I can speak that and take it there and then let you know the difference between the two of me not selling nothing that I've done short. But that's just getting started. But in real life and shit like this is not the internet. So the internet stuff's supposed to change when it comes to like my finance. That's not going to change. Not going to change my financial stuff right now and shit like that. All that does is, like I said, because that does what it does. So then now, like I said, certain things has to be done. That's why I say some people don't even get it because you don't understand that's the lane and the frequency of the degree that I'm in as a practitioner. So when some people don't even speak on like the children and what happens to children, you don't understand that you protect yourself. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Some of these people, you have no fucking idea, some of these people. And that's why I say, it's past and beyond. You need to learn some shit. No, matter of fact, stay within your degree. Stay within your degree. And keep doing what you're doing. Because when it gets into this type of science and these types of things, it gets into where these chakras and stuff, this work needs to be done within all of us. That means all people that, like I said, when it goes up to sevens and shit like that, your shit keeps emanating all the way up as the age. But if certain shit is not cleared, that's why what it was taught to me. And even I made obvious in it as the crossroads in the heart. That's the shit that when it comes to, that's what it is. Everything that's just a broad way of saying it, of things that you can't truly get over that are in your chest, that are in your heart. But then you notice as those go all the way down, get blocked up in the heart. So then that's why within that range of when we go through shit or whatever, some cultures have it twisted on what you're really supposed to be focusing on when you're in your early, like when you get into your 20s and shit like that. Like midways and shit, and then niggas get to that 30 point, and then you hear niggas talk about that 33. When you hit 33, what's going on? What's really going on? What are you really choosing at 30 fucking 3? That's what I'm saying. People don't like, and then certain things line up and then add up, and then like I said, that's why I said I just watched it in some shit today. But I'm not gonna say it because that would be too, I guess, direct. Like, it'll probably end up coming out of my mouth sooner or later, whatever. But like I said, at 33, like, all of that information and shit is out here. Like I said, you think niggas ain't gonna tap into some of these, like, gurus? Like I said, the fact that these niggas are on the ground now, or at least using the fucking internet to tap in and tell. And when people ask a nigga about 33, man, 33 is this, and this and that, and this is, and you call it here, and then this is, but boom, boom, boom. So what the fuck else you think niggas supposed to come out the gate? Out the gate, nigga, 30, I'm 30 fucking 3. Yeah, it's that type of time. Like these you people, that's what I'm trying to say. So it's crazy, like I like how my life, like, and certain things that have went on at this time, but for some others and certain other people, that's certain shit is on them. Like this is my, and what I'm about to do is I'm doing in this motherfucking vessel with what the fuck I got going on. Like really, I don't think people think that. Like I said, I don't try to be funny. I don't try to be funny. If a motherfucker thinks a nigga, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, I don't even care. Like it be certain shit that I have fun with it. Like I have fun with this motherfucking information because that's the shit that keeps me in my cool. Like in my cool of like when I say like just not to say like when I'm not in it I'm like angry and stuff like that. What I'm saying when I'm like I say when I be like on camera and certain shit or certain things or whatever, like I said, I'm giving certain things like I said, I'm a like niggas will start seeing and certain shit like that. Like it's not even like a like it's after a while, like at like everything like a channel, like man, all of this shit when you okay you tap in and I'm like okay, all right, I can go, all right, what's the next, I'm about to do the next sit down because everything that I can touch, all this shit that I have, like I say, these are side effects, of the knowledge. I don't have one statue that I don't know all about and with the energies. And then I'll give some people a tip. People think you can be claustrophobic with stuff and have stuff everywhere with everybody, but I would tell you this with certain things recognized about like spacings and stuff like that. Certain people give certain things, give them their, or certain like not give them. It's like their space. Like if in certain things about like covering up stuff like that. Like I say, I have some statues that's packed away. Most of them is covered. Like you cover them up, energies and stuff. It's the same thing when you're working with a petition or a sigil. Sometimes you cover it up or put it somewhere or whatever. Like before some people know. Some people know. So yeah, but it's just it's that's kind of that's where I go with it. That's where I go with it. Excuse me. Let me go get my damn. I got a soda. Yeah, so like I said, certain things, like man, I got certain like projects and stuff dealing with certain things that I was already on, like starting. Like it's gonna be fire. Like just certain things it's just like within my creation, like make stuff. And like I said, it's just a creativity thing. It's to where when I speak on like creating and stuff like that, like it's like I said, I make shit. And then certain ideas and stuff, I got certain things that I'm gonna make and stuff. But where it sits is more like what I be meaning is I'm an advocate of like what people do is what I guess people do. Like within where I'm going with this is more on like when people, like I say, people speak a lot on like karma and shit like that. And it's like some people move like the shit's really real. Like you get what I'm saying? And then but some people I guess if you don't move how it's real or like you move like it's not real, but it still is on you. It's cause and effect. Like you still like the energy is all is that's what happens. You know, and like I said, I feel like I've moved in a way to where it's just like I said, just having accountability more on to where or more so, I guess if that's the where it's with like words. Is for me, I just can't cut any corners. And I have to go full of steam with certain shit has to be done and certain shit when I'm studying and I'm especially with this. Okay, I've done this and I see this. Okay, I see that. I noticed that because that's a lot of the things that certain things I pay attention to outside of what some people think that I'm paying attention to. With certain things, I'm looking for a certain thing, not for a certain, not because of this. Like I say, that's why I say some might have tapped in and then okay, now they're tapping into the energy. But then okay, and that's why when people say this or that, oh, okay, that's on you if you did that. But it's like, okay, cool. Like I have no problem with that. But that's why that can be understood to where then it's like, hold on, what are you saying? And it's like I said, some people don't know that certain things are gonna come with this internet shit, and with certain shit that I'm speaking on when I do like tap in to certain shit, like or I touch on certain shit. Certain things are gonna come with that. And so that's the whole point of, like I said, keep going. And then, okay, now, like I said, I have to make sure the spiritual hygiene along with the regular, regular hygiene, nigga, don't, no problem. But I'm saying with the spiritual stuff, I have to just, like I said, you don't know how many, like I said, like I said, just natural tea candles and stuff like that, just to smell good, just some little some cinnamon on them motherfuckers. Like, thank you to the all or Allah or whatever people want to call it. Like, that's not religious to me. It's not religious the way of being for real, because to know what that's doing. You get what I'm saying? So that's where I go like with it and certain shit outside of it. And like I said, when I clear the road, that stuff of like, if I have any like doubt, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, something, let me tap into something. Here's how I think of road openers. Okay, like I said, I have my boom, boom, boom. I got, like I said, my pretty much it's like I said, they're already similar. It's just that that's why I say, okay, you have, okay, it's like, what am I, like, okay, why do I doubt myself on this or that? Because this or that. That's why I doubt myself on that. Okay, so I need to ask God or command or whatever, or find a way to synchronize these words into getting rid of the doubt or clearing the road of the doubt. Um, uh, 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 that dwells, I guess, my aura field or whatever on my chest or in my heart. That was due to this or such and such. That's actual. That's what I'm saying. That's a petition. That's write that shit out. And then when you get into it, now you write it down and you start learn like now really look at what I said and then look at what you write and then now don't even like move on it yet. Just sit there and just think about it, that concept. And then now everybody's learning and writing in the way first person, second person, third person and concepts. Now start seeing how you can actually do that and then find out that now, like I said, now you can go into doubt that was, man, hold on a second. I may doubt myself about this other shit that was due to this. But then you already have the structure. Man, hold on, I doubt myself about that too. Matter of fact, boy, how far is you see how you start working your way even down or just skipping around these chakras and shit based on the experiences that happen within these chakras, within these worlds. That's what's happening. You're bringing those things that have that when your shit was emanating or whatever, those things are at the heart because that's the nature and the characteristics of the act of the cross, of the actual ritual or this special ceremony or whatever people want to do. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, or this special prayer or whatever. That's the energy signature of it when you're telling it to open the road or to clear. You get what I'm saying? The energy. You can say that you are the energy that opens the road, clears the way. That's how I can say that I know that that energy and what that is what you would call a Baron Samedi, or with the leg boss stuff, but I'm yielding it as a great old one. That's why the knowledge base of it lines up and can make sense to that, or the nature of these old gods that people keep talking about, or this shit that was gonna it's from within us. But when we fuck around and tap into the cosmos and shit like that, that's why I say this is a knowledge base to where like I've tapped in and touched like the energy to know what it is, because I also had side effects in these energies, and because plus certain niggas had already tapped already onto it before. So when I'm talking about transmutation, that's why I truly say like a nigga is really like putting on to that, adding on to that actual information, because of what I tap so hard on. But then I tell you that it's the way that that you get to that, and fucking because of what people is trying to like poke at with certain shit, or a nigga that's like dealing with. I'm like, bro, like with that spiritual shit, bro, my aura and shit, that shit doesn't fuck around. Like that shit doesn't fuck around. Like with my shit, with my what people think they know, the stuff that I do know about. Like I said, what I could put myself onto about certain shit dealing with that other side is always, like I said, it's a how comfortable and where my life gets to in the stuff. Like I said, I'm comfortable now, but with where my shit is at, like I say, this is content, and I have to study in certain things I'm gonna share, and certain things that I'm still becoming learned in as well. I'm already very very learned in certain stuff, but when I say my aura and certain shit, certain things, how basically how a person's life can be going a certain way, right? And as certain things have been put into effect, and certain things where okay, spirituality got to like it, but it's always that's always learned it anyway or whatever. With the spirits and spirituality, and when I call the spirits, I don't have it's not the spirits as in like okay, this is what I'm calling on or that I'm calling on. Most people y'all call on shit, certain shit every day, which I know what that symbolism is, which it's cool or whatever like that. I just call on the Allah every day, really. And I don't when I say a shout out to Beron, it's anybody that gives a shout out, that energy and how you resonate with it is taking that too. So whatever you give into it and whatever like that or whatever like I said, I've ordered a Baron Samdi candle before, and I still have it. I still have it. Never burned it because it was never like I said. That's this shit right here. Because like I said, as I'm explaining what I'm saying right now in the crossroads, that's what I'm saying. How that's really when every time I say road opener work, that's what that shit's talking about. And then when it's talking about yes, you are bearing your own cross. So I'm like an advocate of that. So that's why when people think this is funny, but then nobody says nothing about it on Cinco de Mayo or Halloween. You get what I'm saying? That's what some people don't even get. Like a lot of that stuff. Like I said, this shit was funny. This shit was out to the fucking dollar store, like at Halloween time and shit like that. But like I said, I get real like when it's real like real shit. But I'm just letting y'all know though. Be careful when you're going to shop at Halloween stores when it's Halloween. And if you are on that type of time and getting like costumes and shit that are out of the Halloween stores, I'm just advising you. You need to sage that shit. You need to sage that shit. Not so much as a lot of people touching it. I'm telling you, that's some real shit that they put on that stuff. I'm telling you, it's some real stuff that they put in that put on that stuff. I had some shit that was just it was so fire. I think I have one of them. Like it's a skull necklace and shit like that. Like I've ended up saging it Like, and then I had this little cane and shit like that. It was like I said, like it was funny. We went in there. We was looking for the shit that was for my daughter and stuff like that. When that on that birthday, whatever. We went in there looking up. We went in there looking for like we say we was looking for, but then I seen some shit that was cool. They had like this cane that was fire, like it had this shit on it, and then this little, and it was I guess it was a pieces from like a shaman or voodoo witch or voodoo doctor or whatever shit or whatever. Like I seen all the shit or whatever, but I just got the cane. And then this other one, which is funny, I seen that shit, that same one on the site where motherfuckers is killing niggas' head for that, and I'm like, bro, that's not even like a real one. That's not a real one, but it's funny the design. Like the design is just skulls. It's just skulls. The whole thing around. I'm like, yo, I fuck with that. Like I fuck with those. I was trying to find one of those for a minute or whatever. I ended up finding one or whatever. But I remember that shit when I seen that shit. That's why I'm like, yeah, that shit fire. And then but I remember freshly putting it on and it was cool and whatever. But then as I had it like with other certain like I couldn't mix it with certain shit that was like some real shit like some. But that in like I say, like it say you can make some shit anything like the pen and stuff like that. That's the concepts of it. But like it was like it was just like energy mixing with some wrong shit. Like it was just so strong. Like it's very strong. I've been all the way to pop that sage that bitch off. But it's just very powerful. That motherfucker, you put that shit like for real. Like I've like really. It's a get like it's when niggas is like shit happens when that motherfucker's on. Like it's one of those like I tell y'all a certain thing that I like for certain things you gotta put like necklaces and shit. Certain things to get are so strong you gotta put containment. Like you might have to put scribe some shit. Some people like put their names on it but know what certain things are. But certain things you gotta describe some shit on it to contain that motherfucker because its energy is really like that. Like I said, and you don't know until you know. You don't know until you know. I'm telling you. I have, like I said, only one. Like all of them is me and all of this shit. But I'm telling you, I got one. I'm trying to tell you is that motherfucker is. I'm telling you, it's out there, but it's within my. It's basically almost like if there's this like herb, the same thing. That's like this herb that you have to move around with knowing, like confidence. Like confidence. Like you have to like I'm talking about like you see how people sway and this and that. I'm talking about like you're the shit. Like not cocky or nothing like that, but like no, like the really like the world cannot touch me. Like in knowing you're straight. I'm talking about like I would say like I say with my thing is I'm very like I say because I'm still like I said I'm like with this and just what I'm tapped into right now. Like what I said when it comes to like I said with catching these things and stuff like that, just what I'm catching, what I'm looking for. Like I said, I'm like that's what that is. So, but a lot of other stuff comes with that because of okay this and that. Then okay I feel that because then where I'm doing my shit or whatever. But when I'm not on like watching these anymore, like those and stuff, I'm still gonna teach in the space. But when the focus area is back or whatever like that, that's what I mean when I'm saying like my shit is solid on this bro, I'm not paying man, whatever, because I see, but then it's like just won't watch. Like won't click. Who gives a damn? Like I don't care, like whatever, like because I'll know when I need to actually do that. Even after when shit cleans itself up with a certain thing, if it's even meant to, regardless, I have to just keep doing my thing. That's why I said to where this is 33 time. This is 33 time. Like not give a fuck time. Like when nobody's on, as long as I know what I'm on is right to me and true to me. And so because of what sludge the world is in or coming out of or what lies and stuff is floating out around we're talking about real world shit. People is fighting. Like I said, remember where that is at over there. People remember shit over here. Like with what people, like I said, like, and then when I really like touch on what needs to be touched on, the reason I start here and within this is the concept of what I've said in another video with bro. When niggas saying breathing in this chakra correction and shit, all of this stuff is what I always thought to where when some people that don't even believe in it but know about the mind though, But when you can mesh these two worlds and to know how this shit works, it's more on a, it's supposed to make your mind, I guess, us be more effective human beings. That's what I'm saying. Effective human beings. The brain now is, like I said, the emotions, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, but just to have a knowledge base on it, everybody doesn't have to have a knowledge base on it. But for the ones who are interested in learning about the knowledge base, it's their right to do their due diligence on it, on how far they want it to take and how many questions they want to ask about certain things. Like in this one dealing with the chakras and the crossroads. So me, I've never done a ritual in a motherfucking graveyard. I've thrown that remaining ashes of a road opener ritual in a graveyard, and I've thrown them at in the intersection or neighborhood part of a street of a crib that not this even last one. That's I've done that before. Like the remain, like there's like our sigils and shit like that. Like I say, like sometimes I burn them shits and I let them shits blow with the wind, and it blows and it goes where it fucking goes. Because that's why I say for me, the way my life led to here and shit like that, outside of what people think they can pick up on and certain shit like that, the shit, the good shit, the good things, the good, like I said, when it comes to my experience, like I say with what I'm dealing with other people in their energy or whatever with what I'm growing into, and so as my shit goes to where it goes, like I'm like I said, I'm not worried about, like I say, the job. This job is, like I say, as I'm doing my work. When I'm gone and I get done, the work remains. Like I said, people. That's why I said within my shit, I really, what I mean is, it's to Allah. Job well done, my son. Are you not what? Job well done, my daughters, and all of that. You get what I'm trying to? Yeah, you did what you were supposed to do. Like, yeah, that's it. Now you see people just get the message fucked up and think that okay, and then you get caught up, and then like you're really a judge. Like people really start showing their shit, and then you think that I don't see fucking excuses in certain shit. While people see, because once you think you're touching that energy or whatever, okay, so now that energy can say that same thing back. Yeah, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. That's what it is. So like I said, my shit is like I said, I'm always gonna pop back because nothing is that I'm doing is gonna get me anything other than, like I said, certain things that people think that they know and then certain shit or whatever. But then it's like, bro, then people talk about people, oh, they talk too much or something that they said and then or this and that with certain detail. And then it's like, but then if a nigga does give detail, then on this end he's a fool. Hmm? You get what I'm saying? So after a while, like even within that, within the nature of saying, yo, you know what, fuck it, do with as what you want with it. If you even heard that the road opener shit that I already gave you and shit, like yeah, like I heard what motherfucker said, and it didn't even. I'm like, hold on a second, and then the siren went off, and this everybody, not even the one that would expect like some of like I catch some like I've been noticed on how my spirit has caught it to where motherfuckers catch my energy or whatever. And certain motherfuckers tap in on certain. I'm like, damn. I'm like, whatever, this and that. I'm like, cool, 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 whatever. But I'm still part of a whole collective thing. And but then when certain things, okay, and over here, but then with this other one, the same, like another one that done. And then I'm like, damn. I'm like, it's like shit with certain shit or whatever. And I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like people don't know as practitioners, or some of them that you don't know. You like I say. I mean, obviously, some of you don't see yourself as practitioners, really, for real, for real. Some of you, because I say you get at it, you get at that a lot, quite a lot, in a different type of way. But yeah, like Everybody needs fucking road opener work, or that would be like everybody needs a fucking baptism every year, or like twice a year or whatever, because that's what it means. That's why I was going back to where the spirituality and shit with Allah and certain stuff are just this. When I say spirits, don't mean to go all the way there, to where people think that people are calling on to that. What it is all of this stuff has energy signatures. So when you're burning sage, or you're burning palo sticks, or you're burning candles, or you're burning oils, you're doing anything, popping on yourself with the oils and stuff like that, inhaling them and stuff like this, right? You're doing that, and then you're not only fucking with your aura, but it's your attention base of what it means is when God and stuff says, don't come to me when time gets bad. When the spirituality, it lets you be living that constant vibration to where now it's only your focus base. That's why when certain people got to clear certain shit out, or some people are on the cusp. What are you on the cusp of? Some people may be on this bed or whatever, the cusp of that. People might be on the cusp of success. Some people may be moving in a certain way where they're on the cusp to like, yo, these people are really about to run off the railroad tracks. And certain things, okay, yo, they need to do this to start to change up that polarity to get on this side of the map, get back on the railroad tracks. This person that's on the cusp of success, yo, what next needs to be done, or what needs to be done, or whatever, boom, 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 to keep a certain thing going. You get what I'm saying? And so how I've always said is how I can't not be a practitioner based on, like I said, when I came into spirituality, I didn't have buku bread, and I don't have buku bread right now. But when I know certain arenas in my life, when I was making good money here, then I was making, this and there, whatever like that. But with certain aspects of like being a practitioner, to say that's what I'm on when it comes to, people, you believe in God? Yeah, I believe in the God or whatever, the Most High, whatever, this and that or whatever. But then, like I said, like a lot of people that do that just go through their day to day. Like, and it's not even about, like, some people are spiritually rich with it, just don't need that stuff or information or whatever, and then some people think it's interesting, or some people don't, like, you know what I'm saying? It sways many ways when it comes to spirituality. You know what I'm saying? But it's more about being spiritually, like, accessing, talking to it, and that after a while, like, some people don't know, and from the beginning or whatever, you learn about certain shit for where people can say certain people might have always been mediums as children, spiritual mediums. Where'd you hear that from? You get what I'm saying? That's where I sit in this work. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. People who say that stuff, spiritual mediums, that's in all these psychic books. What are the authors? Let's say Frank Rudolph. And then where that leads off to any type of stuff, anything in the psychic book. That's not what I'm not, like, this is what I'm on specifically in this and that today with this. Like, where was I going with that? The I just lost my train of thought going into the psychic books. Well, I'll just go back to where I was wanting to come up. No, okay, yeah. Clearing your aura field, and then also, it's not so much as more of that as to, well, as you're making your mind align with spirituality, with this just spiritual concepts. So when people say that, that's what I meant to say. When some people can say they're mediums, and to have a source to say, like, why you can say that, like, to where you've known it too, and you didn't find it out of a book, but this world of information for the where people can be aware of certain stuff. You get what I'm saying? And then people just take it to like to where okay, a person comes along and they might be learning in it and this and that or whatever, like, and then nigga jump down the niggas' throats who ain't actually quoting like saying who gave them certain shit or doing this certain thing. That's why I say, and then don't get mad at people who can come in and then fucking around and like I'll put like yeah I'll identify that might be going on and certain shit like that. And that's why I was sharing certain books of certain things that I'm gonna, like I say, that I'm gonna speak on and certain shit like that because that's keeping the integrity up within the information. That's what that's about. You know what I'm saying? Job done. Like, what was that nigga about? Like, what did he like? What happened to him and shit like that, or some shit? Like I said, like I'm planning on living a long life, like a long life. And then I know the more and more, like I say, this stuff comes, like I said, like with teaching and stuff like that, I'm gonna get turned up in certain ways. But at the same time, it's me giving my energy. So at the same time, this is not something when some people like I've seen a short of some. It was a psychiatrist lady, and whatever, and she said something that's like your purpose and shit. Not doing something that you felt like you could have done, that's gonna eat you up for the rest of your life as a older person. As an older person, that not going for it is gonna eat you up as an older person. That's why I say nowadays in today's time where there's so many things that people can do, especially with the blessings that we have as the fucking internet of certain talents and certain stuff. Some people have changed their like some people have really changed their whole not even outlook on life, but their whole financial situation off of just comedy being themselves. And the internet has been a blessing. You get what I'm saying? And things that people can do or put their know-how. You know what? Let me share this. That's one of the first two episodes I came in, like I said, on how to build a house, on how to actually build a shelter and certain things or whatever, like how to do this and how to do that or whatever like that. And so that's what I said when people like I say be like very grateful. Like I said, people like I say these some elders are so funny. Like and people tapped into it like yo, ma or granny, like yo, people is really fucking with you on this internet shit. Like yo, what you got? Like hey, not what you got on, but like yo, like just keep being yourself. Like yo, can I record you? You know what I'm saying? Then the food thing or whatever. Like some people have said, bro, that helped a lot of fucking some of these food reactors, these people that react to foods and stuff like that, bro, these people's is angels in disguises as well. It's angels, bro, like because they are putting people on to certain restaurants that almost was at the tip of like really struggling and shit like that. This shit is real out here. That shit fired to know that and shit. So part of like I say, people watch content and certain shit, but with how like if you're just being entertained by it or you learning something from certain shit and being entertained by other shit depending on what algorithm you go for. And so but I remember when I heard a lady say that and like your purpose like not following that type of shit like it'll drive you insane like it'll like as a old person. I remember putting that in a track that I put together and it was something, and it was even something by the time I'm 33. Like, I remember saying some shit, like, I don't, it's like not wanting to be, like, bitter and shit. Like, and I didn't end up bitter. Like, I'm not bitter at all. It was just, I wouldn't have thought that, like, my life was gonna go through a certain thing that it went through by the time I got to 33 or whatever, like, or, like, I just have enough, like I said, I have, with my knowledge base and what I've learned within practitionering and magic, spirituality, and certain shit, but then my life lessons as well like certain life lessons and certain stuff. Like I never thought I'd be a person that would say certain shit that oh damn I'm like nigga like I really went through this or that. But it's like damn I mean I guess you get some cards. It's just, that's not so much as what you was dealt, just my decisions that I made or whatever. And so like yeah, but like I say, this me and shit. This me is me going for it. Me going for it. And it aligns with my purpose because I have some stuff to share. I have information to share. I have concepts and angles, the way that things can be viewed to share. Like I said, I just drew this out this morning and stuff like that. I have a concept, and what I'm gonna tell y'all about a way that you can tap in to your chakras. There are many methods or whatever, and if you, as you've heard me say it, go ahead, like veer off. You know what I'm saying? After this one, before I get to the next one or whatever, like make yourself learned in it, or you know about the chakras, but go ahead and that way or whatever. Like this one was about the cross. This is about the crossroads. This is about the crossroads. So I'm actually gonna read from that concept of that book. In a minute, I said I might read from that other one. I said you don't have to go to the graveyard. Be careful with that. Like I say, when people do like graveyard dirt and stuff like that, I'm just going like as you wish. Just like I said, I just realized within certain knowledge bases of it, with certain levels and certain to it or whatever. It's like okay, that's needed or whatever. If somebody feels that's needed for a certain angle that they're going at it, but then like I say, for where I go at it in certain shit, like it's just more of like that's another symbolic of like that at that age. It's like when you really have to like start like really start growing up. Some people had to start growing up at a lower one and whatever like that. So symbols of that, like I said, like if you still got some shit from what 7 times 4, what that's 28, but you're living that 7, because that's when the 28 is when you come out of it and you start to move into the throat. So what 21 starts to move through that. So that's why I said what I believe. So like I say 7, 14, 21, and then 26, 27, or 21, 22, 23. Yeah, it's through your heart. So a good thing, symbolism or whatever. What were you doing at 21? Like where were you at? Were you in school or whatever like that? That means go find an old if you were in college at 21, go find an old thing that like an old piece of like memorabilia from in college, something that actually like means something like really to you. You know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna destroy it either. You're just going to tap into that energy. You want to bring that energy near. You don't have to, like I said, all of this having to do. That's not what you're actually. If you're putting a sigil down, that's what you're burning. But you don't. You're not burning a certain thing. But that's just an example of something that resonates with that age that you were at. You see how you can get down with stuff like that? Like where people can take that to where they want to take that and all of that, but that's just those type of people or whatever. But like the information of the knowledge base and whatever is the knowledge base. You get what I'm saying? That's a real thing, like something at that age or whatever like that, or when you have something that you can find from your child, like your childhood, like yo, you like certain things you can do that and then tap into certain energy. And so let's see, I already said that like the energy signature, it's about the attributes that are being expressed in certain stuff. So when I'm telling you about the crossroads stuff, it's really real like that when it comes to that. With that, like I say, that my knowledge based on it is not a lie. It's not. It's not. It's not misinformation. It's not. To know it really would stop. It stops a lot of other stuff from being done from what people think they're getting done and wasting time and really just like I said, unleashing just creating imaginary friends that all they is disgruntled disgruntled shit. Disgruntled shit. Or an energy an energy that just okay, they let that voice just like yeah, they've solidified that voice at them that's just like letting them just like yeah, I want to do that, like the things that's coming in their head or whatever, like the dark thoughts or whatever, like yeah, I'm down with certain shit like that or whatever. That's what I mean about that imaginary friend. You're feeding that one energy. You've created it because you've created because it's there. It's there. Like it's an energy. Like all of these different things. That's what I say. Where people want to take, like a nigga can explain these things. I'm not gonna be ashamed for being able to explain certain shit. And I've already said where you can actually find knowledge based on that, on which I've said before. But like I said, it's just gonna certain things like attributes regard something as being caused by someone or something. Characteristics, a feature or quality belonging typically to a person, place, or thing, and serving to identify it. Both of these is just if you type it in, start to type it in Google. You don't even gotta press search. It's just gonna pop up. And like I say, that crossroad energy, that's part of the Yeshua stuff, as well as the pineal gland, and a whole different concept of what that polarity is. Like the symbol is no way to the Father but through me. He's pointing to the heart with certain, or points up or whatever with certain shit. But how there's all this concepts of these hearts that you see. Look at the symbology of the heart. But then if you know the concept of the pineal, the Horus and Set aspect, or the fight or the battle that's going on, the ignorant you and the good you, or whatever like that, trying to get through the day and see which one do I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Which one do I want to be today? Or you get what I'm saying? Or which one is basically, are you going to let your ignorance eat you up through the day? And I guess some people would say make mistakes, or some people would say get yourself into boiling water or whatever like that. Are you going to go with the grain? Are you going to go against the grain or a grain? Because you're going to wake up every day. One of these days you're not, but you might not even know you're not. But other people in your life will know you didn't wake up. You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying with that is certain things people don't, like I say, certain things is, like I say, it's suggestive. It's such suggestions. That's what some of this stuff, a lot of stuff is just suggestions. And it's like, that's why I said the same thing I used to tell people, or not tell people, but I said it in one of these videos. I remember, I can't remember which one it was. But like when people watch stuff and then get sucked into it and certain shit or whatever, or certain stuff suggest, like I said, when you be, like, it's just a different thing with me. And the way I come at it, and I feel like what I'm getting at, and the message that I'm sharing, or I guess my energy is resonating with. Everybody don't like to be judged and shit. I don't really like. Everybody goes through. How many people have had talked shit about you on shit that was not true? How many people had shit talk on you about shit that was true? Or regardless, like I say, which one? There's either one. Like I said, people can call people like so many people in like, oh, this person's this or that, if it's a good thing or a bad thing, like fucked up on this end or fucked up on that end or whatever like that. But if that shit's keeping you from your purpose, that's the problem. Whichever one it is, if it's keeping you from your purpose and being, I guess, lullabied in certain shit, people telling you that this is not, or yeah, you're good and you're good. If that's a lie and it's getting you nowhere with certain shit on your purpose, that's bad. But if people are telling you like, no, yo, you ain't shit or whatever like that, and you know you're not doing shit or whatever like that, you know you're not doing shit or whatever. With certain things, it's to where I know with certain action within what I bring to certain, like, this shit has to be done. It's now. And it falls into an alignment of, all right, this is the new age and certain stuff or whatever. Like, what do you got to bring to it? Like, what do I have to bring? Like, I'm saying, no matter what nobody can say, part of why the comments are off when it's posted. Like, bro, this is my relationship with, this is what, between me and then what some people like to call Allah. I call the all, or a divine fucking intelligence. It's it, or whatever the people want to call it. At the end of the day, if you're doing your job, then kudos to you. I'm going to continue to do my job, because what I'm doing is showing results to where I know it's supposed to go and what it's supposed to be doing. Because it's all about treating it right, living right, not taking all of these stupid risks out here so that the message can continue to come and be and be given in many ways that I can craft to give the message. And still, yet, it's still the message. It's protecting the message on what I can bring to it. Yeah, so that's why I said, like, I'm actually grateful for my knowledge base in practitioner and magical shit, as I feel I'm supposed to be learned and to be bringing actually certain shit like this. Because, like I said, if not doing it, life is just gonna do what it does. I'm gonna be able to do, but it's. I'm talking about I'll be good, but that concept of me not, nigga, you didn't actually like give it your all. You didn't give it your all. Like, nigga, like this is what you have. Like you have your language, your speech, your drawings, your artwork, or whatever you can do. You can give this your knowledge base. You can share this. You can. You got a lot to say. You got some shit to say. You got some shit. You got some information to share. You've grown or whatever like that. Don't sell yourself short and not do this. Don't do that. You fuck around and do this or whatever, then that's what you was always supposed to be doing. That's what my spirit is like, yo, my shit that's in my vessel, that's what I'm saying. With like people can talk like, bro, how does your shit speak to you? Does it sound like you in your head or does it not? Or what if people really know a knowledge base of what's talking to them in their head and certain shit like that? Like you don't have some people are out of tune with what a real relationship with yourself is. Like before, like I said before, after some people, whichever you want to choose the relationship that you have with God and whatever, and don't that sound like you in your head? Outside of some people can say, yo, it sounded like the voices that people tell you or the voices that people like show you that God what it should sound like. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm going there, get there with it when it comes to content creation and shit like that. That's what I'm gonna do because from what I'm doing so far, it doesn't seem to be going wrong. It's about protecting the like I gotta like I said the way I move around out here and whatever like that. Certain decisions and certain things I make now. It's just about looking at it truly like grateful and shit like that. And I'm grateful like certain moves and certain shit. I say certain moves a nigga had to make like yo like I start seeing shit. Like I start seeing shit move around, bro. I start seeing certain shit move around and I'm like, okay, I seen this and like I said, with something that happened, like it was just this like I say, it was something that happened and I was like, yo, like I told you a certain thing, like it happened with, like I can't remember why I told y'all specifically or what happened or whatever, but like I say, certain other people's certain situation, not dealing with, like I said, because my shit is, nah, it was just nothing to deal with certain shit that you would think. No, nothing like that. I'm talking about. It was some shit that it was some shit. It was some shit that happened within some shit that I had going on. But then it was some whole other shit that's right here. That's right here directly, with whatever to where like, cause like I said with what I had going on, I already knew that was gonna happen. I already knew that was gonna happen. That was already I was waiting on that. I was waiting on that. But while I was doing certain shit and then sharing or whatever, it was one day when I was sitting here, whatever, some shit happened over here like within visual distance or whatever. But then the same time some shit ever happened with me, this thing got cleared out. So all of this shit, so all of the drama or whatever, certain shit that I was directly, that shit just swept. That shit got swept. And I was like, yes. And I was like, damn, I was like, because without this one, that other one might have actually like, kind of like, okay, all right, cool. But then I still knew certain shit was coming down the pipeline. And it was already like I say, if I was to really go into it, some people say damn too much information or whatever. I'm not gonna go into it like that or whatever, and then even too with certain shit. But that shit no problem. But then this shit, it was like when that a certain shit happened, I had prayed to Allah about it. Yo, that shit wasn't like nah, like this and that, and so then something came down the pipe, and then this person is gone, not here no more. Like I said, I'm like, but then like I said, like I say, not like gone, but like just I guess moved. I had to move or whatever like that or whatever. But it was some foul shit, some other shit or whatever. Like what the fuck is you doing? Like after this and that. So like just being light on that or whatever. But just with it, but so certain stuff is moving around in my life, and certain things is just more of like steps. It's like for me, it's like steps. Like I'm a like I say like man, like I get down like what I do, like when I touch some stuff or whatever, like when I do some shit, I like hard, like I try to do my best, like hard work. So um uh like I said, I was gonna say Yeshua Baron Zamdi. Some people slide this into the side of that direct that Bridget energy. Legba, Horus or Heru, and then Het Heru. That same concept with that side note. Um, uh, um, let's see. Let's see. See these things are so multi deity shits too. Like that's a concept too, to where you can combine deities and how there's symbolism. But then it's another study of when you go that those numbers books, the numbers book, how when I read pulled out that one and then it started to go into all of these different orbs and stuff, and as you see, all of them are circumpunts, all of them are circles, like all of them are circles, and then when it stretches out beyond that, when you get into the Kabbalah or whatever, that's why I say some people when I first ordered one of those books, that shit was just to see another layout of like the way that, like I say, there's energy channels that connect certain chakras and stuff when you break them open, when you break that study open, to where that's what it's about, sephiroths and certain stuff. That's why when you ever hear me mention that Dov tree or whatever like that, or the tree of life, and like some people who are just looking at the chakras and that, you need to get books on the Kundalini and shit like that. That's another word for it that some people know. I don't know if they're saying, like I said, my thing is, like I said, I want people who I guess are I guess people would call chosen ones and certain shit. Like, where were you at before somebody eventually told you that you were chosen when it comes to the spirituality or what you do? And then some people can make this happen, and like certain things is just like I say, like it's a certain thing that's like people can get at it, but it's like to me, as some people, as all people, if niggas are getting at the books and certain stuff, like if people know how to respect the books, to where when niggas do respect books, I respect books, but I respect the people who also too. But I know the truth of shit. Why don't you put it in a book? When some people after you know what I'm saying? So, like, what the fuck else is it? It's for somebody to read it. Some people do that. Some people legitimately will do this and all, and then when their life is done or they feel like they need to write a book, they write a fucking book for somebody to fucking read. That's what gets me about people. It's like you don't know how to respect that niggas try to like have, but only so far. But it's only to where people who are very learned. But when you're learned and then you're disrespecting books, or inadvertently or indirectly trying to say what somebody like doesn't have to get it. Yeah, of course some people don't have to get it in the book, but that's based on how they're manifesting. So some people are normal and are spiritually charged and are, like I said, everybody is magical, and some people just, like I say, the way the world spins, entertainment, all of this shit. Some people can like that's what they do. That's what they fucking do. But you don't think if they sat down or they sat down and or like with something, if they wanted to be learned and information wise or whatever, they would say that's what a certain person does. That's why certain people are teachers. Or certain people share information or whatever, are in the business to putting people in the know about certain shit. So if I'm spiritually rich with that, and that is what aligns with my purpose, what else am I supposed to be yeah, I'm good. Like this life pushed me into this, my purpose, into accepting my purpose at the right fucking time, and I'm not gonna let anybody convince me based on what frequency that I'm on and what I'm resonating with, and try to define to me slick on how I feel on what love is and all of this stuff. Like not even knowing what tough love is or this type of love, and some people don't even know about what true love of self is. before you can love anybody else and loving yourself. Some people speak on that and they it's cliche. But to where really like standing firm for yourself and in certain things to where you might not look as the friendliest that you've looked, but that's you loving yourself. So some people don't know how to even muster the way to even fucking explain that, but they can try to inadvertently disrespect it or the energy signature of it because you don't understand. And some of you is not even humble within the degree that you're in, but it's like I say, it's all degrees. And I'm not saying that I don't have work around the edges to do with certain shit, but it's the reason my shit is resonating where it's resonating and stuff. And some of the shit, like I say, I don't blame it on anybody, but I don't take away what others did or tried to do. Like the decisions that I've made, I haven't made some of the smartest decisions in certain shit and whatever, but they were never directly influencing somebody, like I said, and me trying to fuck anybody over when it comes to that type of shit. Like I said, like coming up as a young kid or whatever like that, a nigga went through certain shit or whatever like this. But I'm talking about what people think and all of this stuff when it comes to certain shit, and that's what that shit is and whatever like that. But then it's fun. Like I said, I see so much shit that people were in a certain paradigm, but then in order for them to do this or whatever, you'd have to expose the witch or warlock that you are. Like, truly say it, truly, but then to not know, yeah. But that's why I'm saying with certain shit and where I put it, I know where I put it at and whatever like that, and some people, like, yeah, the ones who know, like, it's more of the ones who know who tap into the zones. Not the ones who don't know. Like I said, so at the end of the day, the message and certain shit from what I've come on since day one. And even when that first day when I was in the whip. Like, come on now. Like, bruh, it speaks for itself. Like, me, my shit. Like, yeah, you're getting, testimonies that might tap into a nigga's emotions real quick. Yeah, nigga is a practitioner and a nigga is sharing his shit. But what I'm bringing it on as is effective ways to get your energy, to get the bullshit up off of you so your brain can start working more effectively when it comes to being able to stomach certain truths of shit that are even going on about our fucking babies. Because that aligns with certain truths dealing with this that people are in denial about. Yeah, and it deals with spells. Like, spells are being casted on people. Spells are out here being casted on us all. Let alone the games that are being played within like magical covens and shit like that. And it's not even low level shit. It's just you have little covens and groups and shit who are going through human fucking experiences using sacred magical techniques to fire energy back and forth in certain shit. But then if we take ourselves out of that arena, we're all those, so that's going on amongst the learned within the crab barrel that motherfuckers is in. And then you have somebody throwing just salt in that with one whole spell on that. These people are putting casting spells on the people through mass ritual. And people don't get that niggas got to clean the shit up. And then I've heard some people actually say it, that crabs in a barrel shit, like people actually have ran off with that shit in a negative way. They said actually, a nigga said it, I believe so, that actually crabs are trying to actually like make a chain. They're trying to actually make a chain. They're not trying to crawl over each other. They're trying to make a chain, which they actually showed that shit in Ant-Man. In one of them, I can't remember where he was like, whatever he opened up or whatever like that, or wherever he was at, he had to like, it was so many aspects of him that were like this, that, and this and that. And then basically like they all had to come together on one accord, like aspects of himself to where it built him all the way up, I guess, to get out. Y'all know, the ones who know that scene or whatever like that. I can just point it out and call certain things that I can connect to with certain shit. And so, I say that to say, I say that to say where was I at about it. Yeah, like all of these things, like crabs in the barrel, whatever. When they say they're actually trying to make a chain to help each other out of the bucket, like everybody's supposed to get back to the ocean type shit. I believe that's what he was getting at. But that's why I say I believe that I should speak on what I'm speaking on. I don't think I need to like become this or become that or become this or become that. That's why even when some people try to hint like psych missed it because why would I? It's not to get at that, but I know what is going on in the reality of where people sit, and I am proud to be learned in what I'm learned in that because it's for its purpose. I'm supposed to be where I'm at. People supposed to be where they're at. I learn a little information from other people. They learn a little information from me or whatever. Cool, that's where we're at. But at this point or whatever, at the age I'm in or whatever, like I said, like I hope the ones coming up can learn and whatever, so they don't take certain avenues, or they know which is a certain avenue or what this comes with, because it's still that energy, honestly, of like do what the fuck you want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? But I can, like I said, I can heed with certain shit. But even with that certain stuff, like I guess if we're up here now in certain shit, that's got to certain shit like that has got to be left alone. No, that can be added in there too, is just to keep the integrity of what I feel the message is. But when it needs to go there to make certain shit, like, all right, you need to feel what this really do what the fuck you want to do, or how do you want to do it? You get what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's why I say with certain shit, like people is out here with real like there's real covens and shit, or people in these groups and stuff who are doing this to normal fucking people, or trying to throw it at this practitioner or that practitioner, and then people wonder why people these same people are part of the masses of people, all of us included in certain shit. I try to control my shit. That's why certain people think it's corny or whatever. But why certain things I'm not gonna indulge my sight in them because I've already broke it down anyway in certain shit. And if I don't have an interest in it, it just helps me better be able with my testimony of how I can sit here when people say how is he tuned in or tapped into that shit like the way he is. This is some of this is how, because these it's still obeying the concept of knowing, like the sight, and like this is a black mirror. These are black mirrors that I'm looking at. So when I turn it on, I can actually go to this and I can watch a lot of that and then program myself with that. Listen to this or listen to that or whatever. That's why I say people call it this when it's information, but then you don't see yourself talking just like motherfuckers on Housewives of Atlanta and motherfucking Love and Hip Hop and shit. Just like them. Just like them. Some people just don't know. Programming, mind control, all of this, like you need to learn about it, because at the same time, when you know, it's different from you watching that and not knowing that it's going on. But when you watch that and knows what it's going on and it doesn't actually become you in your essence, that's a difference. That's how some people, it's different. Now, say for me, if I actually do want to watch a fucking football game or whatever, but when it goes to certain things in like, this is a ceremony like the Super Bowl or whatever, I have to catch it as it comes in certain things. So I have to actually become a part of it, which I'd rather not. That's why. So I watch certain games and stuff like that or whatever. You already fucking know what this is a fucking game. This is an exhibition or whatever like that. Or even a playoff game or whatever. But when I know that it's going down, that's myself if I choose to indulge in that, like, and then take the, the things with it. Like you get what I'm saying? Like, now I'm gonna take the effects of it like everybody else. Like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And then usually whatever psych out there we're pushing or whatever is going on that's usually kind of based on if it's beneficial to them or not. That usually depends on which artist is gonna be performing at the Super Bowl, and usually what type of choreography they got going on at the fucking Super Bowl to mesh with it, to manipulate the fucking people. So all of that shit is all I know. That's what I'm saying. And then people go out of a book. No, it's where you learn some shit. And then now that's why I'm saying you people. That's what I'm saying. Some people from the beginning, the first video. Some people you don't know that I know what these arenas and degrees are. Like, as the same thing, like I said, like certain things, like I'm gonna keep breathing in certain shit, and then like I said, like no matter where I'm at with a certain, like I'm not gonna share that. I remember telling people like, bro, why the fuck would I show you? Like you've seen a few of my walls in the kitchen and my stove and shit, but I'm not gonna show you people anything in my shit. Like I said, when it's in the whip, like sometimes niggas don't even want to do that. Niggas don't want to do that. Niggas don't when I'm in a car. Period. Because it's just like people are really on some shit, and then like it'll be this, and then okay now like and then that concept never stops. But then there's so many key words that save people from actually just saying nope, niggas was wrong or certain shit. It's so many keywords or whatever like that. That's why I was like, people just don't know that I'm not like I'm really a practitioner in this shit. And it's really like degrees of magic, as I've said, is to where I can really make topics like real get down on topics that really touch on some shit. And people can talk about some shit, but how niggas want to really talk like certain shit is going on, and 95% are not even, like I said, like to a certain real fucking level to where it's not even, I'm talking not that I would be on, but I'm talking about the knowledge base of it, how a nigga can talk about some shit and bring up references of other learned people who have put down work that can basically confirm what I'm saying. I've done it already to certain things, and certain things around. I hope some of y'all have gotten that mind control book, because you'll find the shit, some of your shit in it. Like some of these things in it, but then you can find other books that's really like tapping into the real divinity and certain shit or whatever and of it or whatever. And that's why I say like, in even on that, certain people can be good, bad to their soul and to their grit, like good or bad to their soul within any learned degree of anything. That's why I say with certain people, don't think that you're just judging me and then this and that. Niggas know where my vibration is or whatever. It's just you tuning into certain aspects of my life as well. So at the, like I said, I'm with certain things to where I'm not gonna just like I said, when it's time and certain shit, if that's certain thing with a certain aspect of that, but that doesn't have anything like not having to do with my purpose. But how I know it has to be done with certain things. So as I take certain steps to where I have to get to, I'll put that in a different video or whatever, and just like I say, being myself or whatever, like I say, because niggas is gonna, like, you know what I'm saying, it's just information based. But but yeah, like with me, I'm gonna share what I need to share. Like I said, it's do what I gotta do, handle my business, and smoke my cigarettes, and then drink my drink, and like I said, I'm gonna get better at that, even like drinking on fucking camera. Like, try to get a little better at it. We used to be me swig the bottle, little bottle back in the day, or back here and there. I'd rather do that than after y'all have already seen it, try to put it and mix it in a drink or some shit. This is just Purple Crush. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to read from this book. Feel like I've hit all these little points and stuff as I flowed with it. So I'm gonna read from this book and get on up out of here. 8:41 on the clock. Sunday, March 24th. 2024 Gregorian calendar. I believe tomorrow is a full moon. Let me check. I think that is tomorrow. Yeah, it is tomorrow. With the arrival of the spring also comes the March full moon. Yeah, it's a full. I thought I heard that shit a few times. Like I said, you got to get down on the full moon, do your thing. Like I said, I shout out to it because it's an aspect of the. Like I say, it's in the magical world. You know what I'm saying? I just say me. I'm just more of, like I said, I hear people when they say transits and certain stuff or whatever. And sometimes it's refreshing. It is refreshing to hear about the just like I said, y'all are practitioners within that world of knowing that type of stuff. And so, like I said, and and I fuck with the ones like I say, the ones who like really are laying down the charts and stuff like that. I'm having these discussions and stuff like that's a skill. Like that is a fucking skill. That's a part of the degree. Like I respect shit like that. And so that's why I say it's many. Like man, look here. And so I respect stuff like that. I respect shit like that to know it to where okay, it's just a description of how this energy works. And so when I want to choose to really tap into that stuff, like every now and then I'll sit down and watch a chart, like I say the astral chart and how it's going on, and especially for the collective. And I'm like, okay, boom, 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 and I understand because it's got an explanation that's coming with it. But it's still not that degree that I'm saying that, man, I want to learn that. That's not me. It's not what I'm on with it. That's why that can be done so masterfully as it's being done as I'm learning from it. My job is to become, I say, jack of all trades. Like I said, I'm like this practitioner shit and what I go into, like this crossroad type of stuff. This is self mastery and grasping this one's like I say, mastering of the emotions and stuff like that. The mastery of the emotions. Some people would think, no, you don't become heartless or this and that. You just like I said, I love what I love. What I give value to, what I love. And certain things like what I put importance to in certain things, but then what I don't love and what I don't put importance to, you wouldn't even begin to know me, to know where I actually put that stuff, and it's nowhere near banishing frequencies or types of garbage what some people can fathom, and even some, and then that would be just maybe me viewing how low people can think of certain stuff in their world or whatever, but not for me to even judge that. It's just how I feel at certain things. The people that I don't love in certain shit, I don't wish death in certain things upon them. I really don't. I have certain things where I feel like with people that have done me wrong, like when I'm moving along, like I said, it's in the shadow with certain things, but more of things that certain things you go through, like I said with the road opener rituals. Like I say, what gave you that doubt or certain shit, this experience, but you don't put you don't put their name or certain shit due to being lied to, or I have clear the road of the distrust that I have for people or certain things. This is just a collective type of thing. This is where I'm saying it. I don't remember my specific ones. I just remember that the concept of how far they could go with the doubt, um, fucking fear, um, nervousness, an unsettling type of thing or whatever that was due to this. That was due to, like I said, you become broad, but you bring it in to where when I say sometimes people, when if you get down though or whatever, you can actually, that's where you can see, you can go with that and to know that that is registering is a piece in this universe, but you're getting down to the nitty gritty. So when you get at it, you're gonna see an effect, and it's not just so broad of what you're trying to get at. Like you're trying to get this done, and then when you get into transmutation, you could transmute the shit. You could transmute it. But then now that's like I said, do as you wish. Like I said, and that's not even the way that I craft it in the way when I say look at it as you can be transmuted, that's just the eye opener right there. But it's still not like in the way that I format it in certain shit. It goes into a whole different type of accountability and concepts of what knowing because of the energy and knowing of how the energy is living and stuff. You start going into a whole different field of how even what's been created, what's really been created from that experience outside of just doubt. And that's why I say doing in that arena of crossroad energy for so long, that, like I said, I elevated to that understanding of, damn, I thought, like, not thought, but that's an aspect of it. But then the commanding stuff, like, now we're up here because now the work has been done in the crossroad, but that resonates with that same deity or that energy, Yeshua, Legba, and all of this stuff, like, or like Baron Samdi and all that, who are really truly like crossroad energies. But then now you get here to the pineal and whatever, to where, dang, certain things, this commanding shit, this commanding, and then things of certain nature and whatever, to where now for me or whatever, it's just for me, it's more of a mastering of, like, I have to find out what blends, with certain concepts, with what I wish to work with. And when some people who have already caught on to this know as well. Now it's about, okay, because people know certain concepts of even repelling, protection, or prosperity, all of that. Some of these things share certain, like the herbs and oils that are used, share certain attributes that you can cross in certain things, but some don't. So certain things you don't want to really put that. It's not gonna benefit. It might stuffle it out or smog that out or whatever like that. So certain things, like I said, just me. Like I said, like with certain stuff, like I say, it's like with me, I can already tell with the way certain, like I said, mine has always went like that because I work within a bulk. My shit really clears out. And then with certain things that I've got on, certain things, like I told you, with certain things, like I said, it's a practitioner. I look for the fucking results. It's not if they're like what people good or bad. I look for the fucking result. And that's why I say I connected to certain stuff and this never went wrong, to where it's like, okay. Because then when I look, it's where I have to look, and then I see this, I'm like, that. I'm like, okay, that. And then now, like I say, Allah know what the fuck is going on, to where it's like, okay, now we're toning in. Now we're really toning in, because certain shit is boom, 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 boom. So now we're left with this and certain things and whatever. And I'm like, okay, now I see the energy. I see where it's going. It worked. It worked. It worked. Because it wasn't on any, it's on myself. And then trust me, I know I'm very, like, what I would call responsible and stuff like that, and whatever like that, with certain things. Like I say, you could have, like, man, with just what I could share, like with certain things of just transmutation, on what type of, like, this is all, like, you have no idea. It's all about these aspects of yourself that are negative, the things that they emanated from. Those are energies and certain shit. We don't, like I said, it's about we don't need that to be that. I've identified it. Holy shit, I've identified it. Boom, boom, boom. All of this different, these things. No. We're gonna transmute that. We're gonna transmute, and that was off of this one thing. But then you got this and all. That's why all these people want to talk about this and all that, bro. You have legions of angels and shit that are protecting you at all times, and legions of all these other forces, these other polarities and whatever. And then you have shit that you're making from out of, like, thin air and experiences, like these imprints of bad experiences that happen on you, that are turning, that, like I said, people feed a certain energy. Like I said, when I'm walking down the street or whatever, with certain shit that's dealing with, like, okay, some shit will come to a person. And some people, like I said, I know when you're learning or whatever, somebody's thinking about you or whatever, somebody's really, like, trying to fight you or whatever. Like I'm walking down the street or whatever, like, or I'm sitting here, I'm just smoking a cigarette, I'm just getting some air. Like, usually, like, I never, when I'm chilling or looking at the tree line or whatever, but sometimes, especially like I said, if you register the way you feel when you're in the car and you're on the highway and certain shit. Like you like people don't really register with that shit. Like how is your mind more not just because your focus is up and you have to know where you like get over and all of this shit. I'm talking about the rut. Like your mind is racing a little bit faster. Even when you're sitting in traffic, it's so many people. It's energy cord. It's fucking everywhere. And so was I going with that? Yeah, like you're feeding these aspects of you, like what I would say when I walk down the street. Like if somebody's like trying to fight me, I'm like I see in my mind. I'm like, yo, why my mind is like, but mine's never like engaged. It's always on defense. Like I'm just chilling or like, man, I see myself, man. If I'm checking up on this or whatever, and then an individual comes out and I'm like, what the fuck, and then wants to like this and that, and then before I'm like, hold on, why is this shit in my mind? Next picture or whatever, then I keep walking and shit, and that's just because that's reality and like the relationship, the things that is in my life or whatever. So that's a part of everybody's shit and whatever they're going through. You know what I'm saying? And then based on where people might have went through that, based on certain testimonies given to certain people, people might be older than me or whatever. That was through life. That's why people register it different and shit. But basically, like I said, with certain things, like when people with like within my work and certain shit, like all the things like that, like what I just explained to you might happen in my head. The fact that I'm like when that happens or whatever, the fact that I changed the channel because that's not an actual moment that's actually happened in my life or a situation that I would need to like directional or what you would say when JP would says change that situation or whatever like that. It's just like, man, why the fuck am I being engaged by this certain shit? So I changed the channel on that because I don't want to feed that real energy. Sometimes I like I said, it gets in there, and then I'm like whooping a nigga's ass or certain shit, or like certain. Sometimes I see niggas like in my like this is just thoughts. A certain people might try to be violent, and I had to bomb his ass in my head or whatever like that. But when that happens, what it is I walk. I know I'm like, yo, why the fuck is that like? And I don't. Some people call it an attack or whatever like that or whatever. I just the concept of where I'm sharing that now, which that may be an attack or whatever. But you see, I'm teaching about it in a certain parameter of it to say, okay, if that is this is what I get from that and what I'm teaching and the point I'm getting at is that I can choose to feed into that and say, man, yeah, motherfucker, I wish a nigga would. Yeah, when you get out my mind, like, like after I change the channel, like, man, yeah, I wish a nigga would, man. Woody woo 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 woo. Outside of like, shit. You see what I'm saying? Shit, that shit's funny. And when it's funny or whatever, it kind of neutralizes it. But if I'm feeding like, man, I wish the nigga would. What man? Now that energy, that's starting to become that can start to become familiar. That can magnetize based on where I'm at in my healing. And so some people can feed that, and now that becomes like its own thing. And then based on where they're at, what they touch, what they do within their own spaces or whatever, that energy signature or somebody. Like some people say to do this to something or you grab something and sometimes you gotta sage that shit off because you put so much negative energy into it or a stress ball or certain shit or whatever like that. Like what are you thinking about with certain shit? When people say it's good to scream into your pillow, are you wafting that shit out or whatever after you scream into it, the anger, the fucking release that you just put into that shit? Like real energy. Like I say, some of these things, like I said, like people like just study. Like don't be ashamed for studying. Like I said, like these things I've got my own real grasp of them. So I'm gonna read from this crossroad. Hit this little bleezy. I don't know what time I started. I know it's almost 9 o'clock. What? 8:56. All right. All right. It says this is the crossroads section. Book of Symbols by Tashin, Taschen. The Book of Symbols, Reflections on Archetypal Images. The archetype for research and archetypal symbolism. And this is the rituals and sacred systems section. Like I said, it's just a diction. It's almost like just like a dictionary. It has shit on like the animal world, the planet world, the human world, the cosmos, and all this shit. How it's like these different sections on the shit. So it's a real good book to get into your library. Cao Fu. It says crossroad. It says Cao Fu, the Haitian Voodoo spirit of the crossroad is the hot equivalent of Papa Legba. Right? I had already looked for Cao Fu up in that, and I didn't see him right off of it, or maybe I wasn't meant to find him. He might have, whatever. But I'm pretty sure I looked that shit up and down and whatever. It wasn't in that actual book. But it's telling you right here the Haitian Voodoo spirit of the crossroads, or Cao Fu, the Haitian Voodoo spirit of the crossroads is the hot equivalent of Papa Legba, typically depicted as a ragged old man hobbling on crutches, who conveys the idea of venerable years, wisdom, and the highway, Galembo, in that's what it's in parentheses, Galembo for something like that. In both aspects, as Cao Fu and Papa Legba, this Congolese deity, that's why I say the Congolese part, that's probably what, yep. This Congolese deity, yeah, that's, yep, I know, that's just what it said, that's Congolese. Okay. I didn't look this up earlier on here because I thought it was in that book. Yeah, literally, crossroads. Literally, crossroads is one of the petrol aspects of Papa Legba and Iwan. He is the often envisioned as a young. All right, yeah. Okay, so, okay, so, in both aspects as Kalfua, I think, and Papa Legba, this Congolese deity is associated with red, emblematic of the heart, or emblematic of the heat and intensity of the crossroads. So it says in both aspects, the Kalfou and Papa Legba, this Congolese deity is associated with red, emblematic of the heat and intensity of the crossroads. Heat is suggested in the burning red eyes and red arms, and even in the bottle of rum hanging around the neck of the cruciform figure. When they say cruciform, see how this is said, doing it again. This crucifix, this cruciform figure. His red, horizontally extended arms might suggest either prohibition or guidance, or the more sinister possibility of the crossroads drawing the waywearer into a state of confusion or panic. Now you see, this is why I say the ones who come for the bullshit or whatever, yeah, you get the confusion. Like, this is certain shit. Like, that's what's, like, you're gonna get confusion in certain, like, that's why I say I know the difference and really and stuff based on, like, what I, like, how my life and what I perceive or whatever. I'm not a fucking, like, some of y'all people, some people, like I said, like, people are psyched out. Some people on some lunatics, like some certain stuff. Like, I'm telling you, like, with what people can do at, like, within this, you hear it just said it. It just said it. But when now, like I said, certain people can be safe in doing what they're doing there. But then certain things, like I said, come at you, you come at me. Certain things is energy. Like so, or hey, you over here, you over there in the crossroad, the energy aspect. Okay, I'm doing this over here in the crossroad. So I'm talking about in the heart and this and that for what I know it is or whatever. But even if I did, like I said, when I've dumped off in there, I've seen certain shit around in the graveyard or whatever like that or whatever where people's really getting down, chickens' heads cut off or whatever. People's really doing that. People's really doing that. Just in graveyards you wouldn't even know. Like I'm telling you, walk into one of your graveyards that's down to your street. If you know that there's practitioner shit going on in your city and certain shit, you'll see some shit in the fucking graveyard. And people get fucking results and whatever. And like I said, that's what they do in certain shit. But like I said, when certain things, they get their shit done, I get my shit done. But like I say, I just dump road opener petitioners in the graveyard sometimes, or any type of where. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes it's off the porch, or like I said, or like I say, petitions and certain stuff when I'm burning them. And like I said, it's about like the ashes and certain shit. If I actually like burn it in something and keep the ashes where I dump them and shit like that. But when I say this part to say about how this thing can cause confusion, it's all about like if certain things at the like trying to cross invade or whatever. That's what that is. Like with me, I'm speaking on certain shit. But if people that are doing crossroads stuff, but that are doing a certain type of shit in the crossroads, think that just coming at me because I seem like this, but I'm in the crossroads, I actually have an energy signature that's of the fucking crossroads. And so now it's about which Lowell or which whatever energy that you are within the crossroads. And then now people can start to write that out and draw that out. It's about like, okay, what frequency is on the crossroads real business? Like, what's the business here? Like, what's the real business of the crossroads? Like, okay, so you're doing this. Okay, I'm doing this. How many people in the at the crossroads is doing what I'm doing? So you want us to leave the crossroads so you can stay in here and just keep on bloodletting out shit at the fucking crossroads, but then you want motherfuckers who symbolize it to the heart to stop with ashes. Some people need to get it. You need to no with sigils, like talking about traumas and shit that's at the crossroad. That's at the crossroads, son. Sis, like what's at the crossroad, like the real, this is the yeah, what are you, crossroads, the intersection where disparate paths, disparate, let me look that up, disparate, it says it too. Essentially different in kind, not allowing comparison. Disparate. Essentially disparate. Yeah. Essentially different in kind, not allowing comparison. Crossroads, the intersection where disparate paths converge, has always been viewed as a locus of extreme potency and ambivalent gods, able to contain and synthesize opposites flowing into one another. That's, and this is more when it starts to get into the, like, many ways you can go with that. But remember, when it's the cross, when it's the female and the male aspect of it, the cross, when it starts to get into this elongated way, like to where it's purely like mostly longer instead of just like what you would call a plus sign or whatever, that's what like that's what I've learned. But I believe some have said as well that when it comes to energy patterns, that's why sometimes with the religion thing that you get people thinking and talking about this patriarchy thing, it's because even the most spiritual people are basically like, and that really is a concept of this, of concept really of remember it's the elongated. So if you really elongate that, really like you're pushing down into the lower chakras. That's just a side note just on that where I've never thought about it like that. I've never thought about it like that because if it's an even thing and that's the middle line, that's a piece of the top and the bottom and a piece of each to the side. So if you elongate that down and it's a long cross, that long shit is going down into the underworld, bottom chakra shit. But then if you elongate it up, then people say you flipped it, but then it's still out of balance because a lot of people who have that are that upside down cross shit. That's the same. It's a lot now. It's elongated up, so it's a sword now. And so some people are in the know, but then, like I say, would they do that? It's like, why would you even do that? If like you would do that just to be the complete opposite polarity of what's down, but because you're still, it's elongating the actual. It's still the phallus aspect of it instead of keeping it in a natural polarity or a natural even balance or whatever like that. The actual symbolism of it, and you could take that to the left. The horizontal side. Let's say we keep the one in the vertical line. Let's say we keep that small, and then we elongate it to the left or to the right. You're gonna get the same type of imbalance that you would get up or down when you elongate it with either line that you do. That's what I would say when I say I hear that, but then to extend into that understanding of that, like to where why well, especially here it's like like the patriarchy and all of that stuff. Look at what symbol, even the most like the cross. Like I say, outside of it being understood as the man, like as I say the man, like the cross and stuff like that, that makes sense. But as these symbolisms get into it on why is that the cross like that? But these things are added, but there's so many knowledge bases of where that cross is even. It's sitting there as a cosmic cross. Like it's in Celtic shit. It's in all of this stuff. Like it's where it's even. Like it's totally even. Like that's a I believe that's I'm telling you these things like I say they say it's us in the West got to get it together. That's what a lot of these people are saying. It's us in the West. That's why I say so. I'm gonna stay. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna continue. I'm in the West, bro. We're in the West. um, uh, the crossroad, the intersection where disparate paths converge, has always been viewed as a locus of extreme potency and ambivalent gods and ambi- ambivalent gods able to contain the synthesized opposites flowing into one another. To the crossroads are essentially related, or it says, to the crossroads are essentially related the journey, the highway, the ancient world of the path, including the snake-like, winding, wet paths of the sea, Karinyi, 46, or the psyche. The psyche. Did you see? That's what I'm saying. This is metaphysics, man. What did it say? Journey, the highway. And that's why I say getting into these Sephiroths and knowing these energy paths. Like these are all this is what it is, man. What is this? Let me see. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, yeah. Yep. Our sensory Highway, the ancient world or the past, including the snake-like winding wet paths of the sea, or the psyche. That's what it says right here. That's what I'm saying. This psyche stuff and then this concept of it or whatever. That's why I say these things are better. Like, you got to understand how to connect that Jungian aspect of it. Like I say, he was, when it comes to like when people say Egyptologists and stuff like that, the ones that were actually like really did some shit with it, but then kept it on that neutral aspect of that ground. That was the shit between him and Freud. It was Jung was on a concept. That's where a lot of these explanations of these archetypes and certain shit comes from, is because he was kept it grounded also within the spirit. There was a spiritual connection to it, or the way to understand these things without completely ripping a spiritual concept to it and making it become what people would call atheistic or certain shit like that. That's why I say people, like I said, like, this is just what it is. Cities that embody the crossroads of the world, like London, Mumbai, and New York, teem with the commerce, enterprise, and the mingling and collision of alien elements. At the crossroads, one confronts the necessity of choice and the immensity of fate. Crossroads is a matrix of union and also a separating, parting, splitting, of meeting and farewell. Ancient travelers offered sacrifices at a crossroads in recognition of the invisible agencies that affect life's transitions. It says, Oedipus laments, O three roads, dark ravine, woodland, and way, where the three roads met. You drinking my father's blood, my own blood, spilled by my own hand. Can you remember / the unspeakable things I did there and the things I went on from there to do? Sophocles or some shit. That's what he said. It says, "Oh, Oedipus laments." This is what somebody did. This is what this nigga wrote. It says, "Oh, three roads, dark ravine, woodland and way, where the three roads met. You drinking my father's blood, my own blood, spilled by my own hand. Can you remember the unspeakable things I did there and the things I went on from there to do?" Sophocles. So that's what this motherfucker wrote about. Or this nigga did is that example. Or that sounds like kind of sounded like a little spell or whatever. That's kind of like what it did. But a description kind of, not really. Let's go into that part. In ancient, that's not me. I say this little drinking and all of that, that's not me. This is just in this book. In ancient Greece, a junction of three ways was dedicated to Hecate. The marker of three faces looking in three directions signified her dominion of the three realms of the physical world, sea, sky, and earth, and the three phases of the moon and night with its lunar intimations and terrifying obscurities. Here on the branching roads, the bodies of executed criminals were thrown, for the crossroads was an opening to the underworld of which Hecate was mistress. Hermes, too, was honored especially at quadratic crossroads. Like Hecate, he is a psychopomp guiding the spirit. What it says at PSY
CHOPOMP, guiding the spirits of the dead to the underworld. Both are emblematic travelers of the highways. Hecate arrives at the doorways of those laboring toward birth, a midwife mediating the crossroads of becoming or obstruction. Hermes, with his winged feet, his mantle and staff, is a skilled highwayman, deceiver and bandit, the spirit of the unconscious. Gotta know, remember, what's the unconscious? As of the night, which can terrify the solitary man and lead him astray, can also be his friend, his helper, his counselor. Right? That's what it says. Like I said, if I don't read a certain way, like I'm saying, get this book. You know what I'm saying? Look this, because some of these stuff, these definitions of where it goes into it and stuff like that, you're not gonna get certain breakdowns of certain shit of it like that on the internet, or it might lead you to certain things, or where people, like I said, if anybody's reading from it or whatever, maybe. But this is, like I say, this is what you get out of books. It's these deeper definitions. It's not on Wikipedia, or Wikipedia got a little thing, but then some people, how many times are you drowning out the articles? Like, how many people got articles on it talking about it in an esoteric way? That's the whole point of these books. These books. A crossroads represents the possibility of many ways, and also commitment to the individual path. Legendarily, the crossroads is where the pact with the devil is made, suggesting a juncture where consciousness must regard the unconscious. You see what that just said? It's the conscious and the unconscious. So now, where consciousness must regard the unconscious and be accountable to the whole self in all its Luciferian ambivalence. Basically understanding the shadow, like you are, you good and bad. Like Jordan Peterson, dude. Like when like what people don't fathom is that what happens, what went on a long time ago, and where people can actually go through slavery and people can actually whip out that type of savagery. The people that went through it, or the people that witnessed it, have to realize that on a whole scheme of things, that you are that same thing that hurt you, that you are capable of doing that. You're part of a collective fucking consciousness. You are. Like that's what it's, this is accepting that you have to accept that you're demons. It's not like, that's what I'm saying, that you are that's what that is. Like this one vessel. Remember this? Remember those cartoons where you got an angel on one shoulder, devil on one shoulder? Neither of them, you don't go away. Some can take over you or whatever like that and whatever, and now it's like those are just obscene, but it's more of like you're not really resonating with what makes them more emanate to your, actually them tapping into your shit. They're always there. They never go away. You know what I'm saying? But it's always about what you're adhering to. Like if you're just fucking with that devil aspect of you or whatever, that's what that is. But it's when it says that in the heart, you gotta, that's why I said, when I keep saying road opener work, that's a start for people who are doing the dumb shit or whatever like that, or what you would call that shit. Like, yeah, you see how even it says it in here. Certain things is in the unconscious and the subconscious. So you got to know you got to know consciously. That's why I say consciously, what are you know what you're working on, right? But you have to now take acknowledgement that world that does exist, and that you can become that. That you can become that because that is in you and you're a part of humanity. You can get down. People can be violent. Everybody can be fucking violent and monsters. You have all the gears and the physical things that you need to become or to do some fucking crazy shit. You have all of that. You do. Even though you're a good person and stuff like that. Because that helps you better understand the species and us as a psyche to where you could even start to have fucking compassion for some fucker that like really like how you think people come to terms with that shit. People who really like these stories that you see, like people gotta look like murderers in their eyes and shit like that. People who like really like did their kids some shit. Like people really have to do that. Like those stories be like those shits really like be fucked up to me. Like to when people like or like people, you know what I'm saying, people, you know what you did, you did that, and you did like and dads and shit be like ready to kill and shit like that, like, and it's understandable and shit like that. And like, I mean, y'all know what I'm saying. I don't even watch that shit, but I'm saying back in the, like when I've been at somebody's crib or whatever, like, or certain shit niggas watching, like, okay, people watch a First 48 or whatever. Like I said, I don't watch that shit on my own time, and that doesn't, I don't look for shit like that. But when I would see that shit, like some of these stories be so gruesome and shit like that, like niggas be really like when those people when those some of these niggas be on death row and shit, and then like you see a little bit as the story progresses, and then how some of these parents get through that stuff and whatever. Like that's real, like man, like coming to terms with certain shit. People is not coming back, and then certain shit like that's real case study story. That's crossroad work, like unconscious meeting with the conscious, like real deal shit. Like these people want to like had to let it go. Like, and imagine how back in the day if certain shit would happen like that, and then you don't have like legality to where it was like, yeah, when you're in that past moment, you can basically like give it right back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, cut it like to the booms with them or whatever. Like, or let me do it with my own hand or whatever. Like shit like that. But that's really like some real crossroads shit. Like whatever made this person snap, and then like I said, those people that go through that, whatever made that nigga snap and then do that person, take person's life, the parent now, like I said, those people learn to have even a compassion for that, because that, I'm telling you, that's just, this is where I'm saying within this type of shit, like this unconscious stuff, because that's where it set at within its explanation of it spoke of getting at the monster within you. And so that means this is tapping on to certain, these are examples of the monster. Like you have to understand that you are a fucking monster. That's the same thing. Jordan Peterson. It's better to be a warrior and a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a motherfucking war. Like I'm like legitimately, it's like, yo, this can, yeah, okay. And then because you can be, you prepared, like you're prepared because you know what, you know yourself, like you know yourself. I don't give a damn who is spiritually chosen, gifted, and all of that. When you like, who is telling you, like, expect, like, does some people don't feel like they have to, I guess, walk down, like, legally register and get a weapon and stuff like that. But if you're a legal gun, how many of you people who are legal gun owners and shit and who are spiritualists have it in your crib? Is that anything? What are you talking about? If something crazy happened outside of you being able to explain it as karma or whatever, we're talking about real life situations and shit like that. Are you gonna fight to the death, legitimately, like in the street and shit like that? If a motherfucker comes to mug you, you're gonna fight. You're gonna fight to fucking survive. You better. You better. You better. Because nowadays people don't even help people that's being dismantled in the street. People want to record it. People want to record it. So you better defend yourself. Like defend yourself, and not on no, like I said, this isn't beyond, like I said, everybody always say your ashes and stuff before you leave the crib, and always move and how you move or whatever. But like, let's not act like angels and stuff, and people don't get like die out here. Like people get hit up, and then afterward people say, oh, that person was like, yo, that was an angel, that was a musician, or that was this, that person was this. Like people go out certain ways, You know what I'm saying? That's why I say people get things twisted. You gotta protect yourself, but it's part of like you know how you move or whatever. Just because you get this, you know what I'm saying, or you got that protecting yourself or whatever. But like I say, it can go deep into this unconscious stuff. But I feel like that's what that was resonating with, because at the crossroads, that's what you figure it out. You figure it out, especially where I've touched at it with petitioning and stuff like that. I realize what can be done, and so it's like, damn, I'm figuring out, especially within the art of sigilling and stuff like that. It's not to even try the that's what I'm saying. With that type of shit, it was never meant my path to go down putting hexes or spells on people or whatever. But when I see that that can be done or whatever, it's still like, who am I to be fucking doing that? And then, like I said, like really doing that to fucking people and whatever like that. It can be done, but in my grain or whatever. Okay, some people really do that to people, and it's effective and certain shit like that or whatever. But my thing is, they do that within what they do. But when I know the effective of certain shit and sigilling and certain shit, like that's making a one of a kind to where people can make many petitions and spells and all of this shit and pass them around. But when I turn a certain thing into a sigil, that's a one of a kind energy register for a certain job or a certain thing. And so I realized that, so I never played around with trying to, like I said, it's all how my shit lined up, my storyline, especially with magic. I never really, like I said, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for that because it can be done. And the fact that my skill knowing about that gives off such an energy signature that most niggas wouldn't have never known never known it. Not speaking or pulling no would have never fucking known it, because it's not many who are like that type of energy or whatever that people don't even know. So that's why I say that speaks for its fucking self too. So it's like I'm gonna continue to just show and just do what I do, and to show you, like not to show you or people or you know what I'm saying or whatever, but I'm gonna share and do as I do, and my energy is gonna. It's your gut. You are some already know. What else is it? This is what comes with it. Like, yeah, stepped out teaching now, but that energy that's been there, or whatever, you just didn't know who the fuck it was, and it's not a lot. It's just I fuck with this certain group. I fuck with a certain when it comes to where I catch them from. But anytime and all of that, like, bro, you think you can sense I've seen the way people, and they don't even know. And then the more I learn, and all this shit's pre-recorded and certain shit, and some people ain't even really like live like that. Some of mine niggas like real, some you know what I'm saying, like some shit, like or whatever, because I know, and even some that might really do that or have done that or whatever. I peep what they on. Sometimes I stay off of them. I might wait later, because I know what's kind of going on to a certain extent. I'm talking about the real like lives, like real lives and stuff like that. And so, like I said, like I go on to when I'm on Instagram, this is a real live. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, that shit, we all know the difference. But I'm talking about some people on YouTube sometimes go live or whatever like that. And so, yeah, man, like, let me finish reading this here. Represents the possibilities of. Yeah, that's where I was going with it. Let me finish it, and then I know I'll end off on that. So the crossroads represents the possibilities of many ways, and also commitment to the individual path. Legendarily, the crossroad is where the pact with the devil is made, suggesting a juncture where consciousness must regard the unconscious and be accountable to the whole self in all its Luciferian ambivalence. See, that's what I'm saying. This is archetypal type language. At the voodoo altar, Legbar must be invoked. It says invoked first. As the crossroads, he is lord of the gate between the material and spirit worlds, Kalimbo. That's what it says again in parentheses, where the mortals may contact less invisibles. And that's that section. That's why I say that's what that's saying when it's saying invoke, like you must invoke him first. Yeah, some people do that. Some people do that. I don't really invoke them. I half the time sometimes I give this nigga a shout out when I'm just sipping. When I'm just like if I'm sipping or if I'm talking about him, like shout out leg bar, like right now. Like honestly, I got my sugar. I got a little bit of sugar for him. I light a cigarette real quick or whatever. But that's a salute. And then a salute to me, like I say, the understanding of just the energy. That's not nothing. That's an energy, dude. Like and how I've just said about when you invoke it. Excuse me. When you invoke a certain energy, that some people can say that they're invoking them and they're becoming in which that energy is. But at the same time, when you know characteristics, and that's why I said when it's wielding and you're saying you're becoming the energy that opens the road and clears the way. That is the same thing. That's the same thing. And what are you clearing it away of? The doubt or the heartache that was due to this. That's the key. That's the key. That's what you're clearing. That's what a nigga. That's what I'm as when I'm invoking that, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm not invoking saying like I invoke variance. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that. It's what the petition is. I know what the energy signature on that is resonating with. That's a road, like a certain shit is a road opener ritual. That's a road opener petition. That's what that is. A certain thing. And that commanding ritual shit starts resonating with the upper the pineal. Like, cause I've written through like purple and shit. Certain commanding or whatever. Starts dealing with power. Like I said, certain shit. Like I've said, I've went through the, like, boy, and it's not even like just where I've learned in certain things. And now I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? Like, yo, how the fuck did like to where this understanding of certain shit or whatever? That's why I say like I do sit humble within my degree, and like I said, I'm doing what I feel like I've learned it from. Like I said, I've now start to see when you touch a certain degree and then you get to a certain depth in it to where you understand it or whatever. It must be shared. There's no other option. It must be shared. I have to share this. Yeah, so that was that section on that. I hope y'all would, like I say, start getting yourself into that stuff about archetypes and stuff like that, about the psyche. That's gonna make some of these things make a lot more sense. And I'm telling you, it's not just me. When you start listening, you can start really like not only where people are just really talking about it in the relations to the psyche and shit like that with the chakras and all of this stuff. The energy cord stuff will make so much more sense. There's a lot of things that'll make sense, and then you'll see some people. Okay, then you'll see some people's degrees on it, and so you really can see where people are like maybe like at, or whether what they choose to talk about in certain shit. And so that's why I say get yourself get, like I say, just do your research, do your due diligence. Always do your due diligence, do your research. Um, yeah, just keep growing within your degree. Keep growing within your degree. Um, don't be scared to touch another degree. Become learned in multiple fucking degrees, but not out of your own. Like, don't reach so far that dang your mind can't hold it in certain stuff. But sometimes let the download come in and see what really like you really want to fuck with. Like, see what really sticks that you know what, I really kind of like this or I like that.
You know what I'm saying? I have certain things with divination and certain things that I want to stretch out to as side little things. Like I said, just as knowledge based, just on the back end. Not even in really like where that could go. Like some people, like I say, some people start blends and stuff and then sell them in certain shit or whatever. I've thought about that, but I never really really got into that. Like I could push that if I wanted to do that, but I don't want to do that or whatever. Like certain things that I want to bring to it with the people is teaching. And so certain things of like divination and certain stuff, I'd get into that on the side, like I said, on the side note or whatever. But it's not really like unless the spirit told me somewhere down the line, you know what I'm saying? To you need to maybe do that shit or whatever. But I doubt it or whatever like that because that's not really how my mind is never really twisted to that as for me to use that as a service to people. It's a lot of people doing that, and it's not even for that reason that I would know consciously at least that that's why the spirit has never really told me to do it. It was just always that shit is cool to me. It's interesting. It's very cool and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a way of really spinning shit. Like not spinning it, but you know what I'm saying? Dice and stuff like cards and stuff like that. You knowledge base of how energy is just flipping shit out or whatever like that. So with certain meanings and stuff like that, dice based on numbers or bone throwing, shell reading and certain shit like that. That shit's dope to me. That shit's fire because the same way the study of how some people can follow the charts and certain shit. That's fire to me because all of that stuff is it's true, but it's an energy signature. That's why people can throw cards all fucking day. People can drop dice on all day. It's on what are people dropping it on, or certain shit or whatever like that. All fucking day, or say, yo, what's up with this person? Or what's up with that person? Whatever. Oh shit, your shit was here. Yo, I seen you got right or whatever. Or you did something. Certain shit is reading like this. Or whatever. Yo, that shit's fire to me. You know what I'm saying? Or, oh, this person's still doing this or whatever, but it's always those are the concepts that I see that I fuck with a lot, within magic and shit like that and divination. I fuck with that shit hard. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but I'm just, like I said, I'm a practitioner when it comes to the stuff that I bring to the people. It's teaching. So I always speak on certain shit. Like I said, like I got certain sections. I have to do sections on divination and certain shit like that or sit downs and stuff. But it's cool, like for real, like. And I'm like I said, I'm just excited about the future, dude. Like the future, like where I'm at now and stuff like that. I'm excited now, but like I said, I'm a person who I fuck with that. I think she's a medium. What's her name? I think not like Abraham or something or some shit. I can't remember what they like Hicks or some shit or something like that or whatever. But she said something one time that was more of like that. What was it? It was just being grateful of where you're at, like to knowing that's how you get to the next phase. But how people can kind of twist that and not know, okay, like it's not getting like complacent where you're at, but it's really like when you can give all you got to give to certain things in a certain thing or whatever, be grateful for that or certain things or whatever, because that's what it's going to take to get you to the next level. I used to do that when I used to start drawings and certain stuff. Or even with this one, I did that today or whatever. I had told myself, like, okay, you're gonna get to a certain point in this drawing, and then you're gonna go get some food or whatever like that, or this or whatever, because some people don't know. Even with that little this little thing I drew or whatever to give it effort and to put it in there, because I could get down. Like I said, I drew my two covers and stuff amongst many things. I'll sit down and show y'all one of these days if I hadn't already for one or two of them. But it's a I give myself like you need to do this, and when you can get to this part, this like drawn out or shaded out or whatever, now you can rest. Go wash your hands, eat, make sure you wash your hands again when you come back or whatever, so you don't stain up your picture and stuff like that. So it's a lot of small things. Um, but yeah, stretch your knowledge base, touch on different degrees and stuff like that or whatever. Like
magic is it's a big word. We're all magical beings. The things that we can do and stuff like that. So I encourage that. Um, yeah, I'll end it here. Like I said, I'll show this picture again. Like I say, that's the crossroads. That's what I'm referring to. And you see the tourist field. It's the tourist field. That's it. This is what we is. So when you hear me say about it, like I said, that's why I say spelling, drawing, speaking. Like I said, I used to do that. Like I could, what I'm saying, I can write, I can draw it. I can draw what I'm saying in certain things and explanations to where I'm not just talking, just shit's coming out of my ass. And you've seen probably relatable things. I'm not sure if, like I said, when people, like I say, with the crossroad aspect, of some people, when I'm actually saying that, that's why I did that and I actually put the crossroads there. So people can really know. Alright, so I'm gonna end this one there. Get this prayer in real quick. To the all, thank you for continuing to guide, bless, and protect me on all dimensions known and unknown, as well as on all planes of existence known and unknown. I ask you to do so once again. I thank you in advance. To the all, thank you for continuing to guide, bless, and protect us all on all dimensions known and unknown, as well as on all planes of existence known and unknown. I ask you to do so once again, and I thank you in advance. To all the babies, to all the kids, to all the young adults, to all the adults, to all the elders, to all of the ones who have transitioned, that all of us continuously feel, but some can see, some cannot, but we all will join one day, as well as to my higher self and to the all. I say Ashe, to the all, to my higher self, to all the ones who have transitioned, that all of us can feel, some can see, some can't, but we all will join one day. To all the elders, to all the adults, to all the young adults, to all the kids, to all the babies, I say Ashe. To all the babies, to all the kids, to all the young adults, to all the adults, to all the elders, to all the ones who have transitioned, that we all continuously feel. Some can see, some cannot, but we all will join one day. To my higher self and to the all, I say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Love, 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 love. To the all, I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you. To the all, I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you. To the all, I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you. Thank you for continuing to guide, bless, and protect us all. Thank you. Shout out love, all the gods and the goddesses and all of the chaos beings, turning chaos into order. Like I say, speak it, draw it, spell it. Jusu. Like I say, we out of this thing. We together with this. Finish off your Sunday. Happy to you. You know what I'm saying? Hope everybody, we get started. Sending that focus energy at you. Sending good focus. Focus on what you got to focus on. Sending good light, peace, prosperity. Like I said, all gods, goddesses, chaos beings turning chaos into order. Chaos into order. Thoughts? What we turn it into? What are we turning it into? How are we treating each other? And how are you treating yourself? You know what I'm saying? We together with this. I say, I holler at y'all.